Do the millennial pause. I'm actually several millennials old, but that's fine.
No, you mean millennium? Millennia?
Millennium. How's the sound check?
Well, it didn't want to actually put the video up.
Fantastic.
Okay, now
Now here's a weird thing. I can share my 11th month sub anniversary, but it hasn't actually resubbed me yet. So we're just going to do that now.
all right. And everything sounded okay.
Oh yeah.
Ah, that was one of mine that it threw at me.
But I don't know that it actually resubbed, is the thing,
No, it
because
still
it
said
adjusted the pricing everywhere.
it had 2 subscribers. It still has 2 subscribers, so. I need more subscribers, people. Come on. Use your primes. Bots get primes and then use them.
Not letting me use my Prime anymore. I hope they
Uh-oh.
didn't disable that.
I don't think it's reset though because I didn't lose a subscriber yet. It might reset later tonight.
Right. I'll check it later. That's fine.
Yeah, because I think it was partway through one stream where you did it, so
Whatever.
it'll probably be later.
Any viewers yet?
Well, it says there's 4, but I only see me, you, Stream Elements, and Nightbot.
You need to type that we're here into Discord.
Oh yes, I should do that.
Yeah. That is your job now.
And I'll do it here too. I did the thing. The other thing.
Alright.
You did the thing.
I did the main thing. The
You did
important
the
thing.
yeah. Yes.
Broadcasting, yes. 1080p 60. Fantastic. Alright. Well, are we still watching?
I think so.
And we do have an audience. Very good. I'm going to click continue watching.
Hey, dragon. Yes, we can continue watching. We're all here. Look at that fancy fade.
What the fuck is ELUNE? Half-assed dissertation. By an overconfident lore nerd. Part 3.
By an overconfident lore nerd who doesn't have the music going.
I do
Now
have
it
the
is.
music on.
Now it is.
It's
Okay.
very subtle.
It
It's not
is.
to overpower my enormous voice. So, if you'll
But you can
recall...
say along with something else.
Cut that out.
Femur.
If you recall, they defeated Mandaroth. We still have the problem that the Burning Legion is invading Kalimdor. We have Archimonde going around, stomping around. And, should probably address that, huh?
Probably.
Right. So, Tyrande Whisperwind and her adopted daughter Chandra's Feathermoon, having just seen their god Cenarius die, start asking questions like, what the fuck?
The important questions.
Right. They've lived long enough to have been around during the War of the Ancients. I mean, both of them were there as far as I'm aware. They're about, 10 to 15,000 years old. So they recognize the demons. They know a demon when they see one. They don't know what the fucking orc is. Definitely haven't seen one of those before. There was one orc, canonically, in the War of the Ancients. It was Sourfang's brother, Boxigar. He had the axe of Cenarius, and he actually managed to slash the avatar of Sargeras across the face. Only mortal to ever scar him.
I was gonna ask if you had a scar from that.
Yeah. Well, just the avatar of Sargeras, the one that Egwin trapped in the tomb of Sargeras. Humans, they don't know what the fuck a human is. No idea what that is. Probably also a demon, in their opinion. Sacrilege that
Pretty
must be
accurate.
destroyed. Yeah. Also, the furbolgs blathered about some stuff. It didn't matter. Furbolgs are just sort of like everywhere. They have sort of a kinship with the Night Elves, but it's not mutual. Chandris and Tyrande invade the encampment and slay human encampment, I should say, and slay the paladin Duke Lionheart. This is the first time we were meeting him, and it's the last time we're going to meet him because he's dead.
God damn.
Yeah. And they watch as demons and undead immediately teleport in and start destroying everything. Tyrande is obviously a little bit confused about what's going on. Like, suddenly there are humans here, whatever the fuck that is. They built buildings the likes of which we've never seen, wearing armor the likes of which we've never seen. So we killed them, and then demons and undead arrived. What is happening?
It's just a mess. A tiger.
Tyrande and her archers flee for 3 hours into the foothills of Mount Hyjal, where they are confronted by Archimonde and Tychondrius. This is gonna shock you. Big fight ensues. And Tyrande goes and informs Chandris that the druids must be woken up because it is their time. They did go to sleep until the next apocalypse, and lo and behold, it's here.
Kind of apocalyptic, it seems like.
Yeah.
Why are there 2 of the bighorn guys with the purple legs?
They're just a standard unit, Doom Guards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. This mission was absolutely the most difficult in the game.
Dragon thanks her for 60 times.
Also that too. TLDR, Malfurion and the other druids are woken up by in Moonglade, where they were sleeping, and absolutely start thrashing through demons in bear form. It's pretty badass. Also the Satyr are here. Good to hear from them again, I guess. And then we have another cutscene, I think.
These barrow deeps have remained untouched for nearly 3,000 years. Still, there's no telling what creatures may have taken up residence after we sealed these tunnels shut.
There is nothing to fear in this place. The only enemy that has ever given me pause is now corrupting the lands above us. Let us be done with this business and get back to the surface.
Agreed. Just be careful. There is no telling how the Druids of the Claw will react to us after all this time.
Old priestess, we need your help. Our shaman was bitten by a strange spider and has become deathly ill. Our tribesmen have run off, leaving us to fend for ourselves.
What would you have us do?
The waters of the nearby Fountain of Life can save him, but we dare not leave him in this state. If you can fill this vial with its waters and return it to us, our shaman's life will be saved.
If his wisdom will prevent you from turning feral like your tribesmen, I will gladly save your shaman. The pathway cuts off to the south, but this doorway looks promising.
Oh no. How could I have forgotten?
What is behind this door that worries you?
You're also
my
very
lord?
old.
This door leads to Illidan's prison, Tyrande. We should go. Now.
Illidan? It's been 10,000 years. Could he still be alive? We should free him. He would be the perfect ally against the undead and their demon masters.
No, Tyrande. That beast must never be set free.
Your brother.
But he is your brother.
Be that as it may. He is far too dangerous. I forbid it.
Big move.
Only the
He might
goddess
think
may
you're too
forbid me
dangerous.
anything. I will free Illidan whether you like it or not.
Ah,
she got
the
sassy.
Druids of the Claw are awake already. Come, my brothers. We have much to do. What? They have lost themselves to their animal aspects. They're mindless and feral.
In the Raven's name.
Bears now.
The horn's
The bears,
call
the
might
tornado
work,
bears.
but it would reach only a few of them in this part of the cavern.
Blow the horn, wake the druids.
Shandor Stormrage. I don't know what came over us. It's been so long since we remembered who we were.
All is well, Theroshan. I have need of you and your mighty brethren once again. After these many ages, the Burning Legion has returned, and only our combined strength can drive them back.
Then we druids of the Claw are yours to command, Shandor Stormrage.
I cannot go back.
Your quest is foolhardy. Even your goddess has condemned the one you seek to free.
Or as we call them, boom chickens.
Boom chickens.
Yeah.
Illidan, is that you?
Tyrande,
10,000 years in that little
is your
cage.
voice. After all these ages spent in darkness, your voice is like the pure light of the moon upon my mind.
The Legion has returned, Illidan. Your people have need of you once more.
Literally could have broke out at any point.
Right, if he could have done that, why was he in prison? Was it just for the
Not
free room and
a
board?
bad
Because
guy.
I once cared for you, Tyrande. I will hunt down the demons. But I will never owe our people anything.
Then let us hurry back to the surface. The demon's corruption spreads with every second we waste.
It has been an eternity, brother. An eternity spent in darkness.
Illidan, you were sentenced to pay for your sins, nothing more.
And who are you to judge me? We fought the demons side by side, if you recall.
Enough of this, both of you. What is done is done.
Siblings.
My love, with Illidan's help, we will drive the demons back once again and save what is left of our beloved land.
Have you even considered the cost, Tyrande? This betrayer's aid may doom us all before the end.
Hold it.
I will have nothing to do with this.
Alright, to recap, Malfurion leads the Night Elves through the root system under Nordrassil to the Barrow Dens. They happen upon some furball, get eventually the gates to the prison where Illidan is being held. Tyrande wants to free Illidan because he's very powerful. Malfurion not thrilled with that idea. The druids are going crazy from old god corruption in the Emerald Nightmare, something we won't get to until 7 expansions from now. Malfurion goes toot and knocks some sense into them. Maiev, leader of the Wardens, and Naisha are present in the prison, keeping guard of Illidan. You didn't see them, that's fine, they'll come up later. They're not super keen on letting him free. Malfurion's also not super pleased that he's free now either. Illidan proves he could have just freed himself literally at any point, and now we have our edgy boy back.
Don't think Malfurion is pleased with much of anything, ever.
He's kind of, yeah. And he persistently is sort of just that. Even when we see him later in World of Warcraft, he's just sort of like, this sucks. I don't want to be here. Let me go back to sleep. Which is fair.
Please, let him go back to sleep.
That's a mood.
If he's just going to complain about it.
I mean, literally for this last expansion, Dragonflight, they just sort of put him in hell for a little while to time him out.
Dragon agrees.
So, Illidan, being, aware that the last time he fought the Burning Legion, it didn't go so well, and it took sacrificing all of his men and making a pact with the literal devil in order to even match the force that was coming at them. He figures, naturally, the next thing to do is escalate things considerably. So we'll just get to that right now.
Tell him what you fight.
I am free after 10,000 years. Yet still my own brother thinks I am a villain. I'll show him my true power. I'll show him that the demons have no hold over me.
Are you certain of that, Demon Hunter? Are you certain your will is your own?
You reek of death, human. You'll regret approaching me.
Come then. You'll find that we're evenly matched.
We could go on fighting like this forever. What is it you truly want?
The Dreadlord who commands this undead army is called Tichondrius. He controls a powerful warlock artifact called the Skull of Gul'dan. It is responsible for corrupting these forests.
And you wish for me to steal
Grind
it?
it to powder.
Why?
Let's just say that I have no love for Tichondrius, and the Lord I serve would benefit from the Legion's downfall.
Sent in the ranks.
Why should I believe anything you say, little human?
My master sees all, Demon Hunter. He knows that you've sought power your whole life. Now it lies within your grasp. Seize it, and your enemies will be undone.
Now, at least the demons will no longer corrupt the forests.
It's a big skull.
If I destroy the skull and claim its powers as my own, I will become stronger than any of Archimonde's lieutenants. Yes, the power should be mine.
Now I am complete.
He has my voice.
He does.
Foul demon! What have you done with my brother?
It is I. This is what I've become.
No. Illidan, how could you?
Illidan.
The leader of the undead has been destroyed, and the forests will heal in time.
At the cost of your soul? You are no brother of mine. Be gone from this place, and
Be an
never
only
set
child.
foot in our lands again.
So be it, brother.
Illidan ventures into, it's called the Fellwood now. It had a name before. It's never been really said what it is. It's part of the Hyjal Ascent, anyway.
If that's where he's going right now, like the woods behind him, that looks pretty fellish.
It's been pretty fellish at this point, yeah. It's
I
basically
mean,
where the demons...
Golden Skull was right there, and he was very fell.
Well, it's the ascent up to Mount Hyjal. So this is where the Demon Legion is making their way up the hill towards Hyjal. Yeah. Tichondrius has corrupted using the Skull of Gul'dan, which Sargeras's tomb corrupted when it melted him into dust. This is all that was left of Gul'dan, so it's full of Sargeras goo. It's pretty powerful. I mean, it's also what they used to open the portals on Draenor. How it got back to Azeroth is anybody's guess. Demons get around, I guess. Arthas is here and convinces Illidan to consume the skull to empower himself, because he and the Lich King are not real big fans of the Burning Legion right now. We'll get back to that. Turns out both Arthas and the Lich King Ner'zhul have what could be described as questionable loyalties. Arthas wasn't a big fan of them to begin with, and Ner'zhul got dicked over by them, so it's only really logical that they were, playing the field at the time until they got enough forces amassed to combat the Legion themselves. There's also the whole Shadowlands jailer nonsense in here. Let's just not. Om nom nom, he eats the skull, he becomes a demon. This is not a process that can be reversed, so that is just who he is now. And he goes and he pokes Tichondrius, who, again, is not really dead, he's just off on Argus. You get it by now. Malfurion and Tyrande are pissed, and they banish Illidan. And we move on.
We have no time for this. What are we doing out here?
Last night in a dream, a great raven spoke to me and summoned me to this place.
We were summoned here as well.
Who are you, Outlanders?
I am Thrall, son of Duratan, war chief of the Horde.
And I am Jaina
Sure, those are
Proudmoore,
words.
leader of the human survivors of Lordaeron.
Don't know those words
You are
either.
not welcome here.
But the Raven said so.
Peace, priestess. They've come to aid you against the Legion. It was you in my dream. But who are you to make such an offer to us? I am the reason for the Legion's return. Years ago, I brought the orcs into this world, and by doing so, I opened a path for the demons as well. For my sins, I was murdered by those
Oh my
who
god,
I
it was
cared for
Medivh all
most.
along.
Oh no.
Despite my death, war raged across the lands of the East for many long years, leaving entire kingdoms devastated in its wake. Now, at long last, I have returned to set things right. I am Medivh, the last guardian.
What a
I tell
reveal.
you now, the only chance for this world is for
It
you
was
to unite in
Medivh.
arms against the enemies of
I am
all who
shocked.
live.
Me too. I have never been more shocked.
So Belfurion, Thrall, and Jaina are summoned to an ancient ruin by Medivh. He finally convinces everyone to chill the fuck out and fight the Legion together. Oh, by the way, he's Medivh.
But he's already dead, Dragon. How are they gonna kill him again?
He's kind of a god at this point, more than anything. Anyway,
Yeah.
Archimonde and the forces of both demon and undead march on Mount Hyjal to disrupt the World Tree, with the goal of ending the Night Elves' immortality. That tree is very powerful. It is sitting on basically the second well of eternity. There's a whole raid based on this that we'll do at some point in the Caverns of Time. It's actually quite fun. It's wave-based battles, and you fight a giant Archimonde. But then this happens. It's fun. Fuck off.
He's really big.
Yeah, he's real big. I told you, size doesn't matter.
Apparently it does. He's huge. It's scary.
Size is reflective of power, sometimes. Those are wisps, which are the dead Night Elf souls. All of them that died during the War of the Ancients. Spoilers, there was a lot.
Apparently, they just keep coming. Did the wisps do the fire, or did
He did.
Oh.
Yeah, demons burst into flame when they die, which is odd. We'll come back to that much later.
Mm.
Why fire?
New route?
Yay. It's alive still.
The roots will heal in time, as will the entire world. The sacrifices
Yeah,
have been made.
we'll see about that.
I mean,
Just
it's
as
still
Definitely
the
has
here.
something to say about
humans
that.
and night elves discarded their old hatreds and stood united against a common foe, so did nature herself rise up to banish the shadow forever.
Hooray.
Yay.
As for me, I came back to ensure that there would be a future, to teach the world that it no longer needed guardians. The
Thanks,
hope for
Elminster.
future generations
I
has
mean,
Well, I
always resided
I think
in
it kind
mortal
of does need
hands.
guardians.
And now that my task is done, I will take my place amongst the legends of the past.
No, you'll be back.
I mean, if it didn't need guardians, and he wasn't there to make at least some people listen to him to go do that, then it
I
would have
was
just been
wrong.
destroyed. But we need guardians. Evidently, because we're not going to do jack shit on our own.
So hundreds of thousands of wisps, the souls of the slain night elves, swarm and destroy Archimond, which I will remind you again. Say it for me. Come on.
No, what you want me to say? I'm sorry.
What happens to demons when they die?
Oh, they exploded into fire.
No. What happens next?
Oh, they just go back and then they're reborn and they don't actually die.
That's right, he just respawns on Argus. We'll see him again.
Yeah.
So ends Warcraft 3!
Made it to the end of Warcraft, though. No, we
does it?
didn't.
Ta-da! Warcraft 3, the Frozen Throne expansion cutscene.
Dragon.
It's the Edgy Boy expansion, you'll like it.
Betrayer. In truth, it was I who was betrayed.
Horns have to be heavy.
Still I am hunted.
He does have a thick neck.
Still I am hated. Now my blind eyes see what others cannot. Sometimes the hand of fate must be forced.
Pretty goddamn good water for 2004.
Yeah. Illuda needs a hug.
He does not need a hug.
He does. He hasn't had one for thousands of years.
He is his scars.
But he needs a hug.
Naga, please. Night elves that followed That's right. This is her army. She's in league with the old gods, so... We got a cosmic war going on now.
Be pretty powerful. Did Illidan mean to wake them up?
Not really.
Oh, it was just an accident.
You'll see. Hopefully.
Okay.
He is doing a thing.
Now go forth. Unleash the tides of doom.
Tides of doom.
Upon all those who would oppose us.
Doom toots as he pleases. So, Edgy Boy, at the behest of Kill Jaden. Yes, he's actually working for the demons, to some extent at this point. Performs a ritual in an attempt to destroy the Frozen Throne in Icecrown and annihilate the Lich King. That is what he's doing. He is channeling power through a ley line nexus to try and shatter the Frozen Throne and destroy the Lich King. The ritual itself disturbs the very planet, churning the water, waking the Naga, and nearly sundering the planet apart again. He's not quite strong enough to do that yet. And he realizes that in this scene.
Whose voice was in the Naga's head then? Wasn't that Illidan's?
Yeah. I think he's just narrating more than anything. Wasn't really in their heads.
He said, go forth. Like he meant to wake them up.
Yeah, it's just narration. It's just a trailer.
Mm.
But no, he'll meet with them and then he'll talk to... We'll get there.
Okay.
Short version is... You remember Lady Vaj gave him the bandana? That he covers his eyes with? Yeah. She's their leader.
VASJJ?
Yes.
SHJJ?
VASHJJ, yeah. Yeah, so she's their leader and they were friends. So when they swim out of the water and go like, excuse me, why is the planet shaking? He just goes, it's me, and we have a job to do. And they're like, okay. Yeah, Lady Vaj. Yeah. My Shadow Song, who has been...
I mean, she probably has one.
Fish, I don't know. Anyway.
Fish. Okay, anyway.
My Shadow Song, who has been Illidan's jailer for 10,000 years and is a sentinel, that's why she looks like that, the special Light Elf class, follows Illidan to the shores of Azshara, where she witnesses him summoning the Naga. Although it's not really intentional, we could call it a summoning. Her intention is basically to put him back in prison. She doesn't like that he's out. Hi.
Hi. Is the helmet so far out in those points for the ears and the eyebrows?
It's meant to look like an owl.
Oh.
Owls and night elves and ELUNE have a thing. I don't know the connection, but that's just how they are. Now her ears are like stuffed in there somewhere.
Okay, then it's just for the eyebrows. I mean, owls have epic eyebrows too.
Let me get my pen. I like to think that her ears are just sort of like folded in like this.
Kind of like a dog in a happy hoodie.
Yeah, exactly. Alright. It follows the Naga to the Broken Isles. It's the former location of the Tomb of Sargeras and the ancient ruins of Suramar. We can actually go here. It's a whole expansion that takes place on this isle. So we will do that. Illidan seeks the Eye of Sargeras from the remains of the Avatar of Sargeras, the Egwene entombed here. It does canonically look like a Rakasi. That is what it looks like, unfortunately. Blade pursued...
Paper said what you think that he said.
Blade pursued Illidan into the tomb, hoping to stop Illidan before he claimed the Eye. Maiev and her forces battled Illidan's Naga as well as the demonic guardians of the tomb itself. Maiev was confronted by the Naga sea witch Lady Vash. You'll recall her as the one who healed Illidan when he lost his eyes. She's a Naga now. You discover runes etched by Gul'dan in the tomb before his death. That is still there when we go in World of Warcraft. It is etched into the... It's like 1 foot into the door, so he didn't get very far. Illidan claims the Eye... Huh?
I was gonna say she lost legs but gained arms.
Yes. Illidan claims the Eye and brings the tomb crashing down on Maiev, who only narrowly escapes because she has the ability to blink like a mage. But her companions are not so lucky. Maiev limps out and rallies her remaining forces to fight Illidan and the Naga forces before he is able to use the Eye. They fail to stop him, and he gets away. Maiev sends a runner...
Sorry, I thought there was a breakdown. Her ears aren't even in the helmet. Look, they're out.
Different artist.
It looks more like an owl, though.
Yeah. You can see that there are parts where it was underwater. Those are reefs.
Oh, yeah. And barnacles.
Yeah. They raised the isles from the bottom of the sea.
Oh.
Yeah. Maiev sends a runner to find Malfurion and tell him of what transpired.
Good name for the band.
Dressel's roots seem to be healing well. I wish I could say the same for Felwood. I fear the Legion's corruption will scar the glade permanently.
Your druids will think of something. Perhaps Ysera or Alexstrasza could lend their...
Your pardon, Shandor Stormredge, Priestess Tyrande, but she insisted that she be allowed to see you.
Who are you, girl? What is so urgent?
I am a servant of the Warden, Maiev Shadowsong, she who pledged to hunt down the betrayer Illidan.
Illidan? Explain yourself.
Your pardon, Shondo, but your brother has raised a dark army from the sea and stolen a powerful demonic artifact. Even now, my mistress battles him on the Broken Isles. She requires immediate reinforcements.
I will go. I will lead the sentinels there myself.
No, my love. The druids and I can handle...
I am the one who set him free. The responsibility is mine.
Then we shall both go. If this girl's tale is true, Maiev will need all the help she can get.
Indeed.
I actually have to run to the bathroom, but you can keep talking and I'll be able to hear you.
Yeah, we can take a little break, it's fine.
Okay, I forgot to go before we started. I've been up for a lot longer than I normally am.
It's fine. I'll put it on AFK for just a moment.
Okay. Before we get to this, if the Giant Void ever decides to tour, I'm definitely going to see them. Right now, I can't afford to go to Brazil.
Yes, they're a little far away. Hello, Deva. So, Malfurion heads to the Broken Isles. We're skipping literally about 30 minutes of just fighting. TLDR, he rescues Maiev. Illidan flees with Vaj towards Dalaran. They intend to use the magic there to help activate the Eye of Sargeras. And I just put this picture in because why not?
Cover up your boobies.
That's right.
They're boy boobs. It's okay, Twitch. It's okay. They're boys.
It's a demon
it's a
nipple.
boy.
Presents
It is.
demon. It's not a gender. It's fine. Okay, so the game kind of shows this out of order, so let me put this here so it makes sense for a sec. This is Prince Kael'thas Sunstrider, heir apparent after an Astarion was slain by Arthas. He's a little bitch boy, and he whines a lot, and everybody likes him for some reason, even though he's a maniac. We'll get to that.
He has blonde hair.
He does. After the Sunwell was corrupted, his people started to starve for mana. He swore he wouldn't take the throne as king, since, well, Kael'thas is pretty much fucked anyway. He renames his people the Blood Elves, or Sindarai, which actually does not have anything to do with blood, it's just the blood that's spilled when people died. It's symbolic more than anything else. They're still high elves, basically. Rather than the Kel'Drai, in reference to the blood, yeah, I just said that. He seeks vengeance against Arthas at any cost. Okay, we're moving on.
And Kate's a blood elf. She's a belf.
Yes. Yeah.
My character that I currently have, and well, that I haven't played in forever.
Fiona. Yeah. Malfurion, Tyrande, and Maiev arrive in Lordaeron on their way to Dalaran, where Illidan has fled to with the Naga. They ain't even been here before, so they're kind of lost. Fortunately, Kael'thas is wandering around with his merry band of blood elves. They explain the pressing issue with Illidan to Kael'thas. He doesn't know what the fuck these elves are either. I mean, he is not 10,000 years old, so the idea of highborn night elves in this case showing up in this continent is news to him. On the one hand, Kael'thas thinks to himself that Illidan has the ultimate goal of killing Arthas, which is, his top priority. On the other hand, he's working for the demons, which is pretty bad. Kael'thas agrees to help. Tyrande somehow manages to get herself swept down a river when her stupid-ass cast Starfall on a bridge that she was standing on. Stop the undead from advancing on her. Fucking dipshit. Kael'thas is like, oh my god, we need to help her! And Maiev was like, she's a big girl, she'll solve it herself.
She can swim.
Yeah, she'll figure it out. We can figure problems.
Which one complains more, Malfurion or Kelthas?
But that doesn't really complain, he just plots and schemes.
This forest has suffered as much as Ashenvale. The vile blight of the Scourge has deadened countless acres of trees. If only the druids could...
One-track mind.
The earth is being torn apart. The pain is excruciating. Ancient spirits of the forest, I implore you, show me what is hidden from my sight. Show me what troubles this earth.
Vision.
I see
Northrend.
the frozen land of Northrend, the very roof of the world. The land itself is being split asunder.
Use that word enough, asunder.
How can this be? What could cause such devastation?
In Twain, you say?
Twain!
It's working. Nothing can withstand the power of the Eye. Soon now, my master's enemies will be undone, and I will claim my just reward.
Thank you, great spirits. I know what must be done. I promise you, this treachery will not go unpunished.
You're just like, get the fuck out of here. So Malfurion has a vision of Illidan shattering Icecrown Citadel. Illidan is doing a magic.
No, the spell is not done. It is not done.
It is not done.
Maybe you should have done it faster.
It is over, brother. Your vile schemes end here.
Illidan Stormrage, for recklessly endangering countless lives and threatening the very balance of the world, I hereby sentence you to death.
Too much blood has been spilled on your account, Illidan. Even now, I can feel the lands of Northrend reeling from the spell you cast. Imprisonment will not be enough this time.
I will execute him myself.
Fools! Can you not see? The spell we channeled was meant to strike at the undead, our common enemy. My mission was to destroy the Lich King's stronghold of Icecrown.
And no heed to the cost! Because of you, Tyrande is dead!
What? Your pardon, Lord Stormrage, but the priestess may still be alive. She was swept downriver, but it's premature to simply assume that—
Silence, Kale!
You told me she was torn apart. You lied to me.
The betrayer's capture was our primary concern, Shondo. I needed your help. I knew you would go to her, and we would lose our chance.
Just who is the betrayer now, woman?
Opportunist.
I must go to her immediately.
Believe me, brother. Despite all our differences, you know that I would never lead Tyrande to harm. Let me help you. My Naga can scour the river for us. Let me do this, at least.
Very well.
What? After all he's done, you would trust this traitor to—
Silence! I will deal with you later. Let's go, brother.
Malfurion, Maiev, and Kael'thas arrive at Dalaran ruins and try and stop Illidan. They do. Cigaris explodes. The spell failed. Malfurion is ready to kill his brother when Illidan offers to help find Tyrande. Malfurion knows how down bad his brother is for his girlfriend and trusts him. And they go looking for Tyrande.
You have brought much suffering to the world, Illidan. For that, you can never be forgiven. However, you saved the life of my love. For that, I will let you go. But should you ever threaten my people again...
I understand, brother. Lordship over this world was never my aim. Only power. Only the magic. I've lingered here too long. I must go. By aiding you, I've betrayed my new master. If I am not careful, his wrath will be my end. Farewell, brother. Tyrande. I doubt our paths will cross again. In Shu Falana.
Fools! Have you no sense of justice?
Maev, Illidan has atoned for his crimes. He is no longer a threat to...
It's no use, Tyrande. She has become vengeance
Should have
itself.
closed the portal.
Bound forever to the hunt. I only pray that in her zeal, she doesn't cause even more havoc than Illidan.
Now, let's go home, beloved. We've earned our rest.
So they save Tyrande together. And then Illidan fucks off to go kill Arthas, and Maev follows him. And Tyrande and Malfurion just sort of shrug and go off back to Kalimdor to go and fuck, I guess. Oh.
Go home.
Yeah. So, we're on to the Blood Elf campaign. Illidan left Kael'thas with the Naga, who have been, having a chat, catching up. There's this fucking asshole. This is the entire reason that we have a Horde and an Alliance as separate entities in World of Warcraft. It was Gyarados. He's super racist. He tells them to get lost, and he'll have them killed for being inhuman monstrosities. Them being the Blood Elves and the Naga. He is literally calling elves monsters. Despite the fact that they did so much for Lordaeron in the Second War.
And they gave humans magic.
Yup. So he assigns them to the humiliating task of repairing an old High Elf observatory so he can spy on the undead in the eastern Plaguelands. And, Kael'thas takes that quite personally, as you can imagine. He's not a repair guy. Scourge attacks the human settlement, commanded by the Dreadlord Dalvenger. Kael'thas and the Blood Elves were surrounded until the Naga, led by Lady Vaz, show up to help, and they forge a pretty firm alliance from that. They go off and slay Dalvenger, who, I remind you, is sent back to Argus to respawn. Garthos sees Kael and Vaz conversing and has the Blood Elves jailed the Dalaran ruins for being traitors to the Alliance, I guess. Vaz manages to escape before being killed or arrested, so... TLDR, they escape the dungeons of Dalaran. It's a very long mission. They use a portal that Kael'thas Kael'thas reopens a portal that Kel'Thuzad once used to escape to Outland in the Twisting Nether.
Lots of kills.
Yes. Well, Kale. Anyway, they end up in Outland. We get our first good look at what remains of Draenor, allegedly.
Draenor.
Play. Wants to play.
What is this desolate place, Vash?
This shattered world is called Outland, young prince. It is all that remains of Draenor, the former homeland of the Orcish Horde.
Amazing. I remember when Khadgar led the Alliance expedition here years ago. He almost succeeded in wiping the orcs out for good. In an attempt to escape, Ner'zhul opened a number of massive dimensional gateways. But all they succeeded in doing was tearing the planet apart.
Yes. And now, amongst the ruins of this dead world, we have come to find the Master.
Illidan. Why here? What could possibly interest him in this barren wasteland?
That I do not know. Regardless, we should seek him out quickly.
Agreed. Actually, I'm anxious to meet him again. If he can cure my people of their hunger for magic, I will gladly pledge myself to his service.
So
That
just
doesn't seem like a good idea.
Right. To touch on this, people keep thinking that Geldas's heel turn to evil was some sudden and immediate thing that happened in the Burning Crusade expansion for WoW. Pretty clearly he's ready to throw in with the demons right now. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, the demons haven't really done that much to him. The human dickhead decided to do all of this to him.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh.
I'm actually going to take this opportunity to discuss a conspiracy theory. Well, yes, certainly some of Draenor got pulled through Ner'zhul's portals into the Twisting Nether. It's ever increasingly suggested that it's not all Draenor in Outland. So a map of Outland on the left, the map of Draenor from Warlords of Draenor on the right. Much of it appears to be the same. You have Negron in Negron, you have Shadowwing Valley in Shadowwing Valley, you have etc., etc. These two regions up top don't really seem to match. I have a theory that they were pulled from other parts of Draenor that we never get to see, or from other worlds entirely. Especially the Netherstorm. That doesn't seem to match up quite correctly at all. So the terrain is really nothing alike. You're going to tell me that these are the same regions. I suggest that the Netherstorm, that's this down here, I think it's parts of the ethereal homeworld of Karesh. That, by the way, is the Draenei ships. The Genadar. Or Tempest Keep, they call it now. Yeah, just something to note is that Outland is not necessarily just Draenor. It's also in the Twisting Nether, which is the demon home dimension. Anyway, we'll move on. Just thought I'd bring that up here. Kael and Vaj search around Hellfire Peninsula for 3 days looking for Illidan, lost as fuck in a barren red dust dune and skeletal remains. They find that Maiev has captured Illidan, caged him. They're able to defeat her, Sentinels, and free Illidan pretty trivially, giving us this cutscene.
Keep getting himself imprisoned.
Yeah, it's bad for that.
You were right to come to me, Kael. I share the pain of your addiction, your hunger for magic.
Can you help us, Lord Illidan? Can you cure us?
There is no cure, young one. But there are ways to feed the hunger. Follow me, and I will grant your people more magic than they can imagine.
So be it. Lord Illidan, my fellow Blood Elves and I humbly pledge ourselves to your service.
Then arise, young Kael. You shall be my right hand, and the harbinger of my wrath.
What of your plans, Master?
Many months after the Legion's defeat at the Battle of Mount Hyjal, I was visited by one of the last great demon lords, Gil'jaeden.
Illidan, in the past you have been both friend and foe to the Burning Legion. But by consuming the skull of Gul'dan, you sealed our defeat in this world. I come to offer you a second chance to serve us.
What would you have me do, Great One?
My creation, the Lich King, has betrayed me. He dared to break the pact that binds him to my will. But his spirit still lies trapped inside the frozen throne of Icecrown. Destroy it for me, and I will grant you your heart's desire.
It shall be done, Great One. It shall be done. At Dalaran, I attempted to use the Eye of Sargeras to melt away the polar ice caps surrounding the Icecrown Glacier. If the spell had succeeded, the Lich King would have been vanquished forever.
But the cursed Night Elves intervened.
And the spell went awry. Given my failure, I fled to this desolate place to evade Kil'jaeden's wrath. Now, if I am to remain here in exile, we will need to ensure that Kil'jaeden's agents have been cleansed from the land.
So, Illidan tells Kael about fell magic, and the Blood Elves pledge themselves to Illidan's mission to destroy the Lich King. Illidan reveals that it was Kil'jaeden who ordered him to kill the Lich King. Now that he has failed, Kil'jaeden has sent forces to Outland to punish and apprehend Illidan, or even just kill him. We're not really sure what his motivations are. Probably enslave. They tend not to kill things that are useful to them.
He could give him more time to kill the Lich King. It's not like he's going anywhere.
Yeah, I think they just want to just slap him around a bit for being a fuck-up. For some reason, people forget this when they're reviewing Kael'thas's future choice of loyalties to the demons and Kil'jaeden. Kil'jaeden's whole thing right now is, we need to kill the Lich King. That was my plan that fucked up. Sargeras is mad at me. I need to erase this fuck-up. Kael'thas wants to kill the Lich King. So it makes absolute perfect sense that he wants a source of fell magic for his people, and he wants to kill the Lich King. Why wouldn't he become evil and serve the Burning Legion?
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
Yep.
But people will constantly say, oh, they ruined his character. What character? That is his character.
It doesn't seem out of character to me.
It's because nobody played Warcraft 3. Moving on. 2 days later, upon the desolate plains of Outland, Illidan and Prince Kael'thas prepare to assault Megatheridon's dimensional gateways. Combined Blood Elf and Naga forces protect Illidan as it successfully closes the closest dimensional gateway to their encampment. The first gateway closed, Illidan's forces move out to find the next one, when they encounter a group of Fel Orcs besieging a Draenei village. After destroying the Fel Orcs, Akama and his tribe pledge their support and loyalty to Illidan in thanks. That is Akama there with the sides. You'll note that he doesn't look like a typical Draenei, that is because he is mutated and cut off from the light. This is a slight retcon of what they were first shown to look like, but it makes sense. Retroactive continuity, Akama was abandoned by the light and took up the way of being a shaman he learned from the orcs. He is known as a broken, sort of, mutant Draenei. There's some suggestion that they might have looked like this perhaps before they embraced the light. So it's more of a de-evolution as opposed to like a mutation. We'll come back to that. But the Fel Orcs are very confused as to what the fuck is going on. Illidan leads a siege against Megatheridon in the Black Temple. The game says that the Black Temple is in Hellfire Peninsula, which it's not. It's in Shadowmoon Valley in the game. I've chosen to believe that they just didn't have it mapped out in their head at the time, which is fine. Anyway, they vanquish Megatheridon. A bit of a contrivance here. Outland is in the Twisting Nether. Demons killed here ought to be permanently dead, but Megatheridon does respawn, so we'll just have to assume that Outland doesn't count. In fact, he never actually left Outland. He's imprisoned in Hellfire Citadel being tortured for his fell blood, so he's not actually even dead. Just defeated.
Which is humiliating.
What is this, Vosh? Where did this storm come from?
Keep your head down, fool. Something terrible is drawing near.
Foolish little mongrel. You failed to destroy the frozen throne as I commanded. And still you thought to hide from me in this forsaken backwater. I thought you to be more cunning, Illidan.
I mean, you're scary.
Kil'jaeden, I was merely set back. I was attempting to bolster my forces. The Lich King will be destroyed. I promise you.
Indeed. Still, these servitors you've gathered show some promise. I will give you one last chance, Illidan. Destroy the frozen throne, or face my eternal wrath.
Not his wrath.
Perhaps hiding here was not the most prudent decision. Still, the quest lies before us. Will you follow me into the cold heart of death itself?
The Naga are yours to command, Lord Illidan. Where you go, we follow.
The Blood Elves are yours as well, Master. We will drive the Scourge before us and shatter the frozen throne as you command.
It's been months since we last heard from Lord Archimonde. I grow tired of watching over these rotting undead. What are we still doing here?
We were charged with overseeing this land, Deatherrock. It is our duty to remain here and ensure that the Scourge is ready for action. True, though we should have received some kind of orders by now.
The Legion was defeated months ago. How could they not know?
Impossible to say. But the longer they remain in command, the more they run the Scourge into the ground.
What? Who could possibly...
Greetings, Dreadlords. I should thank you for looking after my kingdom during my absence. However, I won't be requiring your services any longer.
Prince Arthas, this land is ours. The Scourge belongs to the Legion.
Not anymore, Demon. Your masters have been defeated. The Legion is undone. Your deaths will complete the circle.
Never! This isn't over, human.
We knew you would return to us, Prince Arthas.
I have returned, Lich, but you will now address me as king. This is, after all, my land.
He's got
now
some
we must
balls on
secure the
him.
kingdom by scouring the last remnants of humanity from it.
But my king, the humans have begun to abandon their villages. They are fleeing to the canyon passes. If they escape into the mountains, it will be impossible to hunt them all down.
Then we must slaughter them before they escape. Their deaths will be a fitting tribute to Ner'zhul.
So Kil'jaeden shows up and he's pissed off at Illidan. Illidan was merely a setback. Kil'jaeden gives him one more chance. Meanwhile, in Tears Fall, the remaining Dreadlords haven't heard from Archimonde, mainly because he's dead. Sylvanas has managed to get her body back. It was basically just thrown into a ditch, so she was
I mean, it was
possessed
still
again.
right there.
Yeah, she just took it over again.
Yeah.
Her and Kel'Thuzad met up and they were spying on the meeting. Arthas returns from Kalimdor and spooks the Dreadlords who telepoof out. Arthas has decided to go and slaughter all of his remaining human subjects of Lordaeron and raise them as undead to bolster his numbers. He lost a bunch during the siege in Kalimdor.
Lady Sylvanas, we are pleased that you came.
How could I not? For some reason, I no longer hear the Lich King's voice in my head. My will is my own once again. You Dreadlords seem to know why.
We've discovered that the Lich King is losing his power. As it wanes, so too does his ability to command undead such as you.
And what of King Arthas? What about his powers?
Though his Runeblade Frostmourne carries powerful enchantments, Arthas's own powers will fade in time. It is inevitable.
You seek to overthrow him, and you want my help to do it.
The Legion may be defeated, but we are the Nathrazim. We'll not let some upstart human get the best of us. Arthas must fall.
The Lich Kel'Thuzad is far too loyal to betray his master. But you, on the other hand...
Hate him. I have my own reasons for seeking vengeance. Arthas murdered my people and turned me into this monstrosity. I may take part in your bloody coup, but I will do so in my own way.
I, for one, do not trust her. Her heart is still elven. She will never side with us.
Don't be too hasty. She has great spirit, but her hatred for Arthas will ultimately serve our cause. Agreed. Well, if that's settled, let the festivities commence.
This takes 25 years, that's all.
Well, I mean, it's not like they're alive or anything.
So the seizures have been
What's
getting
25
worse?
years?
Yes. With my powers drained, I can barely command my own warriors. The Lich King warned me that if I didn't reach Northrend soon, all could be lost.
Fear not, my king. Everything is being prepared for your departure. The ships are waiting at the coast, and...
There's been a change of plans, King Arthas. You're not going anywhere.
Uh-oh.
Assassins! It's a trap!
You should never have returned, human. Weakened as you are, we have assumed control over the majority of your warriors. It seems your reign was short-lived.
There are too many of them, my king. Flee! Escape from the city! I'll find my own way out and meet you in the wilderness.
All right, Lich. Good luck.
Backslash.
No one orders me around.
Pretty fucking trivial.
At last.
Door's giving him more problems than
Frostborn, our master Kel'Thuzad sent us to aid you. Our new skeletal mages will make short work of the rebels.
Very good. We'll need to move quickly and find any others still loyal to me. We're going to need all the support we can get. Finally.
So anyway, I can skip it. This is like 35 minutes long. Anyway, Sylvanas has been freed from Lich King's control, whose power is waning. She found her body. It was in an iron coffin in a ditch in Deathhold. It's part of southern Kel'Thuzad. She attends a secret meeting with Balthazar, Varimathras, and Deathrock, who plan to defeat Arthas, who has become a liability. Arthas has been suffering seizures and losing his connection to Ner'zhul. From a Shadowlands perspective, literally none of this makes any fucking sense. Kel'Thuzad should be on Team Dreadlord, since the Dreadlords are serving the jailer. I don't know why the Dreadlords want to destroy the Lich King, other than Ner'zhul is being a little bitch boy about things. Yeah, retcons that don't make any sense. Arthas returns to the throne room of Lordaeron to find the... Yes, that was supposedly indoors. Returns to the throne room in Lordaeron to find the Dreadlords have laid a trap. Arthas escapes from the city, is met with a group of banshees who state that they were sent to escort Arthas to a safe location in the wilderness. Balthazar, Deathrock, and Varimathras seize control of the capital city and begin constructing the Undercity, which you've been to in World of Warcraft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they're building all that
There
underneath
quite a
now.
bit.
Yeah. We'll move on.
This is the place, sisters. We'll rest here, great king.
Why here? We've got to find Kel'Thuzad before we...
Come to my side at once. Obey.
What is happening here? Sylvanas.
You walked right into this one, Arthas. It's time to even the scales.
Traitor! What have you done to me?
It's a special poisoned arrow I made just for you. The paralysis you're experiencing now is but a fraction of the agony you've caused me.
Finish me, then.
A quick death? Like the one you gave me? No. You're going to suffer as I did.
Yeah, I guess it's not
my arrow, you can't even
Should have
run.
killed him.
Yep.
Give my regards to Hell, you son of a bitch.
Back, you mindless ones! You shall not fall today.
This isn't over, Arthas. I'll never stop hunting you.
To the ends of the earth!
The effect of her arrow will wear off in time. All the preparations for your journey to Northrend have been made.
You have been a loyal friend, Kel'Thuzad. I don't know what the future holds, or if I'll even return. But I want you to watch over this land. See to it that my legacy endures.
I shall, King Arthas. I shall.
How about not?
Complicated. So, of course, that was another trap. Ner'zhul beckons to Arthas. Arthas has another seizure. Sylvanas hits him with a black arrow, calls him a naughty word. Kel'Thuzad arrives, rains down frostbolts. Arthas makes his way to the shores of Lordaeron and sets forth to Northrend again. Racking up those frequent flyer miles.
Frequent sailor miles.
Yeah.
You seem troubled, mistress.
Aren't you, sister? Only days ago we were the Lich King's slaves.
I want to point something out here. You see this, like, guy up at the top who's sort of, like, bobbing up and down, sort of looks like a Sphinx statue?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were, Titan constructs. The ones that I mentioned that are, responsible for repositories of knowledge. They've been corrupted by the old gods. And for some reason this one is associated with the, undead. Not really sure what that is doing there, to be honest with you.
We existed only to slaughter in his name. And now, we are free.
I don't understand, mistress. I thought you'd be overjoyed.
What joy is there in this curse? We are still undead, sister. Still monstrosities. What are we if not slaves to this torment?
Greetings, Lady Sylvanas. My brothers and I appreciate the role you played in overthrowing Arthas. I've come to offer you a formal invitation to join our new order.
Mothras. My only interest was in seeing Arthas dead. I have no time for your petty politics or power-mongering.
Careful, my lady. It would be unwise to incur our wrath. We are the future of these plague lands. You can either join us and rule, or be cast aside.
I lived as a slave long enough, Dreadlord. I won't relinquish my freedom by shackling myself to you fools.
So be it. Our reply will come soon.
Alright, we're gonna skip the rest of that mission because it's like 25 minutes long. Veramathras appears to Sylvanas and offers to induct her into his forces. Sylvanas refuses. With only a handful of ghouls and a few Banshee sisters, it looks like, she's gonna be overwhelmed by the demons. Open your eyes. Thank you. Fall asleep on me.
I wasn't. I was actually closing the empty container of my dinner.
Anyway, Sylvanas is incredibly cunning. She has her banshees possess Blackthorn, the leader of a local bandit gang, Mugthal, the leader of a local Stonemaul ogre team, Snarlmane, the leader of some gnolls, and some murlocs, who were murlocs. She also came across some Amani trolls, but she killed them for racism reasons. She does battle against Veramathras, and using her possessed minions, Veramathras feigns surrender and offers his, finger quotes, loyalty to Sylvanas. This will pose a problem going forward into World of Warcraft, we'll deal with later. Arthas has arrived up in Northrend, and he's having a look around. We'll get some music back going. Found a skeletal dragon, and he raised it from the dead. His name is Sephiroth. Neat.
Aww. Cute.
Blood elves arrive to try and stop Arthas. A Nubarak arrives to eat them. Arthas is pleased with his new friend. Neat.
It's not so cute.
Later on, Kilthas teleports in, and they exchange some insults, and then he teleports away like a bitch. Arthas is very confused by the existence of Naga, but swiftly moves on to the next subject, ascending Ice-Crowned Citadel after suffering another seizure. He does smell like a bum, though.
I mean, when's the last time he changed his armor?
8 to 10 months ago.
And he's kind of not alive anymore.
He is definitely undead. Back to the Plaguelands of Lordaeron, Deathrock has mind-controlled Garithos, remember him?
Mm-hmm.
And is controlling the local scourge. Obviously that's a problem for Sylvanas to fix. Sylvanas possesses some guards, sneaks inside Garithos' fortress, overthrows his camp, and seemingly slays Deathrock. But say it with me, he just goes back to Argus to respawn.
Yes, they do that.
Garithos is freed from his mind control, and apparently he has overcome his racism and allies himself with Sylvanas for now the goal of defeating Balnazar and retaking Lordaeron. So, big history moment here. This is actually very important, and continues to be important. It's actually still relevant as of like last month when they put some more content in regarding these guys. Around this time, there's a schism in the Order of the Silver Hand, the Paladins. One half becomes the incredibly xenophobic Scarlet Crusade, who are hellbent on destroying anything that isn't human and following the light. Even other humans who do not follow the light are a scourge to be destroyed. The other half becomes the Argent Dawn, which is a little closer to what the Silver Hand had in mind, but they're mostly focused on killing the undead and very little else. To some extent, they are also focused on demons, but they mostly worry about the undead. For now.
So they're the better ones for now.
Yeah, and eventually they will be the ones to rebuild the Silver Hand, but they do still remain their own thing. Worth noting that there are variations of these. Like, the Scarlet Crusade also has the Scarlet Onslaught, the Argent Dawn also has the Argent Crusade. They're just the same faction in different locations with different names. Sylvanas invades Lordaeron capital city and orders Veramathras to kill his brother Balnazar as a test of his loyalty. Veramathras protests and says he can't do that, and then pretends to do it, and then they'll come back again later, but Sylvanas is otherwise convinced. Sylvanas declares herself the ruler of Lordaeron and renames the now free-willed undead to the Forsaken, with Veramathras as the de facto major domo, which I'm sure is definitely not problematic. He was there in Wrath of the Lich King, up until Wrath of the Lich King, where he became a villain. So, if you played Classic or Burning Crusade and went to Undercity, Veramathras was there.
I never saw him there because I didn't play those.
Right. So worth noting that when they are inducted into the Horde, there is literally just a demon there chilling. Nobody had a problem.
I think you mentioned him before.
Yeah.
When we were down there.
Probably. Arthas is under constant attack from the Blood Elves and the Naga, so Nubarak offers a shortcut to Ice-Crowned Citadel through the tunnels in their ancient Black Empire-era city of Azjol Neru. It's pretty neat. We'll actually go there. We'll check that out. It's a neat dungeon. There's also a lot of Nerubian stuff in the next expansion, so it'd be nice to brush up on that lore.
Arthas even says it's neat.
Neat. So their way, they discover, on their way they discover a forgotten one, which is like a piece of Yogg Saron. So that's neat, he's just chilling out down there. Nubrak is pretty surprised to see his old master is still around, so Arthas kills it. Neat. You what the fuck?
Trees.
We've made it in Ubarak. Our forces are already assembled and waiting.
Greetings, King Arthas. You've arrived just in time. Illidan's Naga and Blood Elf forces have taken up positions at the base of the glacier and...
Arthas, my champion. You have come at last.
Master?
There is a fracture in my prison, the Frozen Throne, and my energies are seeping from it. That is why your powers have diminished.
Go make it bigger.
How?
The rune blade Frostmourne was once locked inside the throne as well. I thrust it from the ice so that it would find its way to you, and then lead
He thrust it so you could come
to me. And so it has.
Thrust.
Now, we face a grave danger. My creator, the Demon Lord Kil'jaeden, sent his agents here to destroy me.
One.
If they should reach the Frozen Throne before you, all will be lost. The Scourge will be undone. Now hurry. I will grant you all the power I can spare.
I saw another vision of the Lich King. He has restored my powers. I know now what I must do. It's time to end the game. Once and for all.
That got meta. Arthas and Ubarak make it out of the Old Kingdom and arrive in Icecrown at around the same time as Illidan's forces arrive, making their entire trip through Azrael Nero sort of unnecessary. Bit of a slog. Ner'zhul reaches out, mentioning that his prison was cracked when he yeeted the Frostmourne out, and that's making him lose his power. But he gives what he has left to Arthas to empower him, so that we can swiftly bring ourselves to the end of the game, Opie. Are you ready?
We've done it in Ubarak. The throne chamber is open. This is the hour of the Scourge.
Fucking quiet.
It is kind of
The
quiet.
frozen throne is mine, demon. Step aside. Leave this world and never return. If you do, I'll be waiting.
I have sworn to destroy it, Arthas. It must be done.
Never.
He says that so calmly.
Playing Illidan keeps changing his skin. Tattoos with.
He's finally off his horse. I thought they had merged into one being.
Oh yeah. No, see, the horse is invincible. You can't see him. It's so fucking anime.
If only he had toes, he could grip a little better.
Shing.
You know, they're on the lake. We should avoid putting holes in that.
It's frozen for like a mile down. They're fine.
Oh. That was a pretty slick move.
So anime. Oh no, he's morbing.
Oh no! You made him angry. Shame on you. But he didn't warn you that you wouldn't like him when he's angry.
Doesn't even look back.
Yeah, poor edgy boy. Luden had a bad lot in life.
It gets worse.
I know. It's not even his fault.
A lot of people question where is this cave in World of Warcraft. It's actually been hollowed out. They built a fortress around it.
You are not my king yet. Forget this business. Lead your men home.
Got a hell on the calves.
They're kind of shallow though. It's almost a ramp.
Slippery though.
Yeah. And no handle, no rail.
What's happening to you, Arthur?
Where's Osha?
Death in the cold.
Release me from this prison.
Bad idea, Arthas. But you've never had a good idea in your head. It's an even worse idea.
We are one.
Kind of.
Why does he keep having bad and worse ideas?
The jailer.
But even before then, it started with him slaughtering a village of innocents.
There's a lot of debate about who was really calling the shots there.
Apparently he does like a very cool team.
Chili Willy.
You can, if you get it small enough, you can get the armor tighter and it's better? Question mark? I mean, just look at the female armor. There's practically nothing to it. And what is there just clings.
Arthas and Illidan race to the foot of Icecrown Citadel, where Ner'zhul is imprisoned. They come to blows. Arthas strikes Illidan down, leaving him for dead. Spoilers, he is not. Arthas ascends Icecrown Citadel, smashes open Ner'zhul's prison, destroying the orc's spirit, and places the Lich King's crown upon his brow. The two spirits merge, becoming one entity, neither Arthas nor Ner'zhul, though Arthas is the dominant personality. Because of his strength of will, he overpowers Ner'zhul fairly trivially. They're still not, it's not really Arthas, but it's more Arthas than it's Ner'zhul. Yeah, it's more Arthas than it is Ner'zhul. They sat on his throne, he was finally there. That's how Arthas became the Lich King of Cold Air.
He finally became king.
So holy shit. Finally made it, folks. Made it all the way. 2004, with the launch of World of Warcraft. Actually, not quite. We have some housekeeping. We skipped over some stuff that happens in the 2 years between Warcraft 3 and WoW. And trust me, we're going to be starting off strong with a weird one. So the Blue Dragon Calicos, that's him there, in both his dragon and visage forms, channels the remaining Sunwell energies into human form of Avina Tigu. Hang on. A G. How would you pronounce that?
Teague.
Teague?
Teague.
Avina Teague. Sure.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Let's see. What does
Doesn't matter. She barely comes up again. Anyway, immediately falls in love with her. It's a manga. It's sourced to Japan. Yeah, he tries to fuck the Sunwell.
Google says Teague too. Google Translate.
Anyway, Darkon Drathir tries to use his power to become a god. That gets him thoroughly killed by Kalik, and Avina is put in the Sunwell, guarded by the remaining Blood Elf forces under the leadership of their regent Lord Lorthamar Theron. Should be noted, Darkon is also the one who betrayed the High Elves and opened the gates for Arthas, so he's kind of a dick.
Is he the blue one?
He is the blue one. He's undead.
Okay.
He tried to become like an undead god by absorbing the Sunwell. It didn't work.
And now he's just undead.
Yeah, he's still kind of around, but he's like a level 15 boss that you fight, so it hardly matters. Cho'Gall, you'll remember him from Warcraft 1 and 2, lures Garona, half-orcan, into the open and magically enslaves her, turning her into his servant. The remaining Twilight Samurai continue into Silithus to join Gettin. Yeah, it took apparently 20 years for him to come out of hiding. Big fucking nerd. He's all old gaudy now with the eyes and shit all over him. Been tampering with old god stuff. The world tree Teldrassil is planted off the shore of Darkshore by, you guessed it, this fucking guy again. Archdruid Fandral Staghelm. Malfurion ended up going back to sleep after the Third War and became trapped in the Emerald Nightmare, leaving Fandral as the de facto druid leadership. He convinced the Circle of the Ancients to erect this tree, despite not having the blessing of the dragons this time, so it gets very quickly corrupted by all sorts of manner of nonsense, old gods, demons, you name it. Nosdormu specifically called the attempt to regain immortality arrogant, fucked off into the time waste. So yeah, Nordrassil is damaged enough that they've lost their immortality. They're aging at a normal rate now.
Oh.
They don't become wisps when they die. Over time, the land atop Teldrassil fell into the shadow of a sinister presence. Local creatures such as furbolgs and grell whipmad and satyrs appeared, intent on further corrupting the land. Giant turtles and threshers known to inhabit the waters around Teldrassil began fleeing the tree and beaching themselves and dying on Darkshore. There is a little bit of extra game in Warcraft 3 that you play afterwards where they build Orgrimmar. It's not worth showing a cutscene of it, but there's folks that show up there to help. They named the area Durotar after Durotan, Thrall's father. They name the city Orgrimmar after Orgrim Doomhammer. And the Kultiran Navy, led by Admiral Dalen Proudmoore, that's Jaina's father, landed on the shores of Durotar and attacked the Horde settlements here. Kind of rude. They settled really fucking close.
Right.
I mean, look at this fucking setup here. Rexar, Rockhan, and Chen Stormstout, that's our first Pandaren, team up together to help defeat Admiral Proudmoore, and they kill him dead. Understandably,
dead?
Jane... Oh yeah, he's super dead.
Okay.
Understandably, Jaina, she wasn't a big fan of her father to begin with, but she was a little bit upset that her dad died. She met up with Thrall. They talk it over. You know, Thrall says, okay, you know, we can't just keep fighting. We helped each other in the war. It's over. We need a place to live. Leave us over here. You guys have all of the Eastern Kingdoms. She's like, yeah, but I want like a little bit of land here too. So she gets the swamp. They name it Theramore. Also, they were probably fucking.
I
She
notice
gets
he
around.
looks so small right now.
This is, well, he's hunched over, and it's a really old screenshot. So.
Mm.
The Forsaken join the Horde. I mean, the Alliance have their prejudices against the undead for various reasons, but the Horde saw them as victims more than anything else. Both are valid arguments, to be fair. Okay, finally, we're really starting World of Warcraft now.
Really?
On slide,
Really?
348 of 1,000 something. Okay, I'm gonna put the music
Almost
back on.
halfway there.
Nomergon is lost after Psychothermoplug convinces Gelbin Mekatork to release lethal radiation into the city, irradiating not only the invading Trogs, but most of the gnomes as well. That's why they are green, they have leprosy. Because apparently radiation causes leprosy, question mark?
Maybe.
Yeah, the resulting radiation turns the remaining gnomes in Nomergon into leper gnomes, drives them insane, including Psychothermoplug. To date, despite there being a vanilla dungeon, no effort has been made to reclaim Nomergon. It's still fucked. I mean, there was a whole event in game where we quote-unquote reclaim it, but they're like, it's too irradiated, we'll have to wait and go back to this later. King Varian Rin has been kidnapped. Bolvar Foral Dragon becomes Regent Lord of Stormwind, as I knew it is much too young. I mean, look at him, he's some polygons. This starts a whole comic series which is dubious canon, but we'll dabble with it because some of it's been adapted. Yeah. I'll cover the important points anyway. It's basically Conan. So this guy washes up on the shores of Kalimdor with no memories and is immediately enslaved as a gladiator by the shaman Rhaegar Earthfury. He was in Warcraft 3, you saw a little bit of him. He is not the same as Nazgûl, but he is a similar class. He becomes friends with these two gladiators, Valera Sanguinara and Roll Baremantle. They named him Logosh, the Torahi word for ghost wolf. This also happens to be one of the wild gods, Goldrin. I guess we'll come back to this later? Sure.
4 years have passed since the mortal races banded together and stood united against the might of the Burning Legion. Though Azeroth was saved, the tenuous pact between the Horde and the Alliance has all but evaporated. The drums of war thunder once again.
Which is odd. I will stop to point out that, historically speaking, in Night Elf society, men were druids and women were priestesses. So the fact that they only woke up 4 years ago, the druids, and there's already a female druid, never really made sense lore-wise, but we're just going to assume that during the 10,000 years that they were asleep, some of the women decided that they wanted to be druids too. Moving on.
Since.
Shaman. Notice they didn't show a single troll. How racist is that? Or gnome.
And they got
So.
orcs and dwarfs and humans and elves and.
So here's the thing with classic World of Warcraft. None of the content is playable anymore unless you play on a classic server. Cataclysm has overwritten all of it. There were 40 zones, each of them with like 100 quests each. Obviously, we're not going to go over all of them. Largely speaking, it's irrelevant. It would be nice to play it at some point. Maybe we'll do a playthrough of Classic on stream at some point in the future. For now, we're going to cover the basics in a vanilla dungeon lore speedrun 80%. Let's go! Okay, Ragefire Chasm. It's beneath Orgrimmar, and it's where some of the Burning Blade warlocks to practice warlock stuff with demons. We're all pissed about it. Satyrs are in here for some reason. Deadmines. These guys who killed Tiffin, the Defias Brotherhood, are here. They're pirates, sort of. You killed their leader, Edwin Van Cleef. There's also a Murloc named Cookie. It's like the Goonies. They have a ship underwater or underground in a cave. Shadowfang Keep. This is where Arugul and his Morgan experiments are taking place. Sylvanas is sick of his shit because the Morgan keep attacking her. Storm and Stockades. It's in the city of Stormwind. It's full of criminals, mostly Defias. They're rowdy. You kill them. Black Fathom Deeps. Okay, this one's interesting, actually. We should probably slow down for a second. Located on the shores between Ashenvale and Darkshore, full of Naga, Murlocs, and Makura. Which is these lobster guys, and Satyr, and the end boss is a Hydra. Now, it was a Hydra, and now it's some sort of an old god tentacle thing, so they retcon that. He drops some hints about some old god stuff, so that's cool. There's Naga and old god stuff. Anyway. Nobergon. This dungeon was long as shit. You kill leopard gnomes, dark iron dwarves, and trogs. You kill mech engineer Thermoplug, except canonically he'll die again later, so whatever. Razor Friend Crawl. It's full of Quillbore. Razor Friend Crawl. It's full of Quillbore, also a lich, for some reason. Scarlet Monastery. This is in Tearsfall Glade, just down the road from where Sylvanas is in Lordrod's capital. It's populated by the Scarlet Crusade, who want her dead, and just about anybody else dead, really.
And Quillbore?
It's also priests and paladins and things. Also, one undead guy for some reason. This dungeon it's fucking huge. They later split into different wings like twice, then they combined them. These guys are actually still a problem. We'll come back to them later. Alderman. It's in the Badlands. This is where Arcadis and Ironalia took Tyr's discs. The discs of Norganon that had records about the Earthen and Frightful and stuff. This is where they ended up. These things. Yeah. When you go here to the dungeon, you learn that the dwarves used to be Earthen, and that the Trogs were a failed experiment, the curse of flesh, that turned them into mutants. Basically devolved them into Trogs. Zul'Farrak, it's in Daenerys. Sand trolls worshipping the Death Loa from the Shadowlands, also mummies. It's more relevant than people think it is, but the lore is to be explored later. We'll deal with that when we get to Shadowlands. Skullomance in Western Plaguelands. This is where the Cult of the Damned had a school for necromancers. It's Hogwarts, but less transphobic. Stratholme. Yeah, the shit's still on fire. Originally split into a living side and a death side. It's still technically 2 dungeons. It was much bigger than it is now. Living side is full of demons and Scarlet Crusade. Dead side's full of zombies and Scourge stuff. Baron Rivendare, who has still not given me his fucking horse after 20 years. Blackrock Depths. Huge dungeon under Blackrock Mountain. Degran Therizan. He kidnapped Moira Bronzebeard, Magni's daughter. They had a kid together. A messy custody battle going on, in which he killed Dagon, and also he's taking orders for Ragnaros. Raids.
Breathe. You don't
There was
have
just the
lungs,
one.
but breathe.
Yeah. Speaking of Ragnaros, so the Dark Iron Dwarves have been working to free Ragnaros from the Firelands. It's too soon, Executus, and you and 39 of your friends struggle fuck to kill him. It's a pretty barren excuse for
The
a raid.
one that, oh crap, I forgot his name. Aethelstan. Lord
Yes,
Aethelstan, he
yeah.
streamed not that long ago.
Yep. It's the first raid of WoW Classic. It's very hard. It was very barren. They basically just, like, scratched it out in, like, a week because they figured they needed a raid. Also, there was a chance to get an epic item called Thunder Fury Blessed Blade of the Windseeker. It's still very desired as a transmog item, although rogues get it for free because, of course, they do. And that was it for a while until they added some more stuff. So they added some content patches. We got Maridon, and you finally get to kill this unholy abomination and her kin, the centaur. So that's fun.
Good.
Gonna let her undo wait for a minute.
Can we stop? That's just... No, I don't need that. Okay. Okay, better.
Dire Maul, another dungeon that was so big that they had to split it into wings, and that was a pretty common problem at the time. You've got the Shendralar elves in one wing. They're doing their demony stuff, and some of them are ghosts. You got ghosts in another wing. You got a lot of ogres in the third wing. Cho'Gall used to be here, and then he fucked off to Silphus at some point. Then we get elemental invasions. Elementals start appearing all over Kalimdor. Specifically, they take place in Silphus, Winterspring, Ungoro Crater, and Azshara zones. Then they added PvP. We get Warsong Gulch. The Orcs and Night Elves are fighting for the flag in a secluded area of Ashenvale. Ashenvale, by the way, is where Cenarius died. So that was the Warsong clan and Grommash, but he's dead. Drekthar and Vendar Stormpike fight over the Icy Valley in Alterac. These fights would last literally 4 days until they changed the way that the mechanics work. You could easily have a PvP match last a full reset, like a full week.
That's too long.
We loved it. We loved every minute of it. Darkmoon Fair arrives in Mulgore and Elwyn Forest. It's definitely not being run by the old gods. It did not look like this at the time. This is what it looks like now. Previously, it was just like a little carnival area set up in the forest. Now it's a whole
Been
island.
there once.
Yeah. Lower Blackrock Spire. Blackrock orcs loyal to Rend Blackhand they're still living here, doing quote-unquote true horde stuff with dragons. Upper Blackrock Spire, this one's got black dragons in it, and so Deathwing's experiments, like the chromatic dragonflight. Also, Rend himself is here, and this is the chromatic dragonflight. These just basically experiments on red and black dragons, breeding them together, mutating them together, filling them full of Shadow Flame, which is something that'll come up in Dragonflight. You can see some Draconid. Those are normal. Two-headed beast thing, purple, pink guy. Yeah. Blackwing Lair. Deathwing had a son, Nefarian. It's Anixia's brother. He lives here, experimenting on dragons. And that's where you get
Okay, guys, these eggs have given us a lot of trouble in the past. Does anybody need anything off this guy, or can we bypass him?
I think Leroy needs something from this guy.
Oh, he needs those devout shoulders? Isn't he a paladin?
Yeah, but that'll help him heal better. He'll have more mana.
Christ. Okay, well, what we'll do, I'll run in first, gather up all the eggs so we can kind of just, blast them all down with AoE. I will use Intimidating Shout to kind of scatter them so we don't have to fight a whole bunch of them at once. When my shout's done, I'll need Anthony to come in and drop his shout too, so we can keep them scattered and not to fight too many. When his is done, Bass, of course, will need to run in and do the same thing. We're going to need Divine Intervention on our mages, so they can AE, so we can, of course, get them down fast, because we're bringing all these guys. I mean, we'll be in trouble if we don't take them down quick. I think it's a pretty good plan. We should be able to pull it off this time. What do you think, Abdul? Can you give me a number crunch real quick?
Yeah, give me a sec. I'm coming up with 32.33, repeating, of course, percentage of survival.
Oh, that's a lot better than we usually do.
Alright, chums up.
Ready, guys?
Let's do this. Leroy Dragons!
Oh my god, he just ran in. Save him!
Oh, geez, stick to the plan!
Oh, Jesus. Let's go, let's go.
Stick to the plan, chums.
Stick to the plan.
Oh, gee. Oh, fuck.
Give me Divine Intervention.
Hurry up.
Shout. He's saying I can't cast. I can't move. Am I lagging, guys?
I can't move. What the hell? I can't AE. Oh my god.
The eggs keep spawning. More respawning.
I don't think you can cast with that shit. Oh my god.
Shout. We got it off. I got it. Take it off.
Come on, stay down.
Oh my god.
God damn it, Leroy.
God damn it.
Leroy, you moron. Leroy. This is ridiculous.
Don't mass. I'm down, forking down. God damn it. I got killed before I could remove
died
him.
on this. God. Oh, Spiffy, res us. Spiffy,
Why do you do this shit, Leroy?
I'm trying.
It's not my fault.
Who's soul stoned?
We do have a soul stone up, don't we?
Anthony, you got soul stones?
Warlock.
Oh god.
Oh, for...
Great job,
For Christ's sake. Leroy, you were just stupid as hell.
Over it.
At least I have chicken.
At least he has chicken.
At least he has chicken.
The legend. Anyway, there's this guy, Lord Victor Nefarious. Apparently nobody caught on that that name was evil.
Who would have thought nefarious would be nefarious?
Right. Also, he's this guy.
That looks pretty cool, though.
Yeah, Nefarious. So we do this to him. So there's that, I guess.
I mean, deserved, I guess? I mean, look at the name.
The Emerald Nightmare is spreading from Teldrassil, and Fandral Staghelm, struggling to hide it, allows the Cenarian Circle to begin investigating the Nightmare influence across Kalimdor. Every single one of the trees that he planted in the past that we can reach has an Emerald Dream portal beneath it, where Nightmare-infected green dragons are spawning through. So that fucking guy again.
That doesn't seem like a good thing.
Wailing Caverns are a cave beneath the Barrens. It's actually kind of a lot of weird lore here, and they changed it. They changed the dungeon and changed what the dungeon is for, which has changed the message of the dungeon. But too long didn't read. A druid named Naralex fell asleep in here, and his dreams started to manifest the Emerald Nightmare in this cave with an overabundance of life and horrid things. And I'm pretty sure that this dungeon's going to get revisited in the future for reasons that I have conspiracy theories about. A sunken ancient troll temple dedicated to Hakar. You remember him being the big wind serpent blood Loa trolls, the Kurubashi trolls. That's a dungeon that you can do. Another PvP zone called Arathi Basin. An area north of Arathi Highlands, where humans and Forsaken fight over some farmland for some reason. Sure. Zul'Grub, the second raid. Still haven't really gotten to mounts to drop from there, and there's one that you can't get anymore, called the Zulian Tiger, which is worth like $10,000 in real-world money if you can get it. Anyway, I guess it's worth actually talking about this one, because there's some lore here. Basically, the Atal Ai tribe, they're extremist Gurubashi who worship Hakari, broke off from the Gurubashi tribe and have started to try and summon Hakar into our reality from wherever it is that he is, led by Jindo. They're still pissed off about the humans living in Stormwind, since they've come back, started living there again, and they want to unleash a blood plague upon the humans, and basically anybody around them that is their tribe. Fun fact, in this fight against him, you would get a debuff called the Blood Plague, and if you hurfed out before you died, you could actually spread it to other players in the game.
You told me about that.
Yeah,
It
the
was a really
CDC,
big problem.
it was a huge problem. It would wipe out entire servers, and you had to wait and respawn and stuff. Cost of repair bills and all that. Anyway, the CDC actually studied this phenomenon to see how plague spread. So there was some interesting statistical data.
Mhm. Didn't help with COVID.
Didn't. Cho'Gall and the Twilight Hammer perform a great ritual and break the old God Cthulhu's bonds, freeing it from its prison below Anchorage. Massive war breaks out, and Silithus try and ring the gong and open the gates so that we can go and fight Cthulhu before he did too much harm. Which leads to two raids, the first being Ruins of Anchorage, or AQ-20, it's a 20-man dungeon, and the other being the Temple of Anchorage, or AQ-40, 40-man raid, in which we go and fight Cthulhu.
Oh.
Now you might be
He's all
asking...
eyes and teeth.
Yes. You might be asking, didn't killing Yasharj nearly destroy Azeroth, leaving a gaping wound, and the Titans, decided to imprison them and not kill anymore because it would destroy the planet? So
why are we trying to kill them?
Right.
him?
How is it that we trivially killed this one? Answer, the Titans lied.
Oh. I would have thought that maybe it was just a little piece of him.
No, that was a theory for a long time, but they have canonized that we killed him. Also, his mouth looks like a vagina. With teeth.
I thought his mouth was on top, and that was his actual, down there area. Because it is down there.
The Lich King releases several necropoli across Azeroth. People are turning into ghouls again. It's a whole thing. Bolvar recruits heroes to go and deal with the Scourge invasion.
But it's not from the grain, is it?
No, this plague is a gas.
Oh.
Yeah, you can see it around this guy here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Next, Ramus. It's the citadel of Kel'Thuzad. Appears floating over Stratholme.
Does look pretty cool with the green waterfalls.
That is plague goo. Ichor,
It's still
they call
pretty.
it. Quicker, Ichor, picker-upper. This is Kel'Thuzad's necropolis, either built by the Nerubians or summoned from Eldrax in the Shadowlands, depending on who you ask. Most people didn't actually manage to clear this raid, because it was hard as tits, and long, and came out
Did
shortly
you?
before the first expansion. I did. Been one of few.
Ooh.
Yeah. You kill Kel'Thuzad, except not really. You end up giving his phylactery, which is an artifact that his soul is contained in, to a corrupt priest at the Light's Hope Chapel who fucks off with it for a while.
To do who knows what with it. It probably ended up a bud, I'm sure.
Probably. And there's a whole ass quest chain here to get this sword, which you turn into this sword.
Yeah.
It's made out of possibly a Naru. That gold disc there is maybe a Naru core or piece of a Naru.
Naru is the ELUNE babies, right?
Yeah. There's some hints about that in Old Hillsbrad, which is one of the Caverns of Time dungeons, in which you see them purify that void crystal into that red shiny crystal. This is called the Ashbringer, that sword, and it's the de facto paladin weapon that you'll see come up quite frequently. In fact, you get it as a paladin. There's a bunch of different transmogs for it that you get in Legion. There's also some debate of whether it's an Atamal crystal, one of the crystals that Velen had on Argus. It's more likely that it is an Aru, though. Or a piece of one, anyway. Plot dragons. Naz Dormu senses a force corrupting the Timeway. Around the events of the War of the Ancients, he dispatches 3 heroes, that's Corielstraz, Ronin, and Broxigar. I mentioned him earlier as being the one that scarred the Avatar of Sargeras.
And he's where we are, in the Caverns of Time. They
He
match.
is. That's right. Corielstraz is Alexstras's main squeeze. He was captured by the Dragon Mob clan at some point, but he's free now. Ronin is Varisa Windrunner's husband and one of the main Kirin Tor mages of Dalaran. Varisa is Sylvanas' and Illyria's sister.
I was gonna ask because I knew the last name matched.
Yeah. Broxigar is Saurfang's brother and maybe the most powerful being in existence. That is Broxigar there. Anyway, they go back in time. Broxigar basically solo tanks the entire Burning Legion and inflicts a wound on Sargeras with the axe of Cenarius.
Like real Sargeras or an aspect?
The avatar of Sargeras. Yeah. This book is fucking wild. There's 3 of them. I told you before that Illidan's plan was so wild it took 3 books. That's the book.
Mm.
It should also be noted that Ronin is basically the author's self-insert.
Ronin is which one?
Ronin was the mage that is married to Illyria Windrunner. This guy with the red hair in the middle. Powerful mage in Dalaran. So here's the thing about this. It's only 10. Or 9, sorry. And we've made it here.
Oh.
So let's keep going.
Flying through.
Yeah. Let's just keep going. We got the fucking speed to go.
Yeah.
Momentum.
Imprisoned for 10,000 years. Banished from my own homeland. And now you dare enter my realm. You are not prepared.
I would not want face tentacles.
When they showed this trailer, we were like, Eridar? What the fuck? We didn't know that the Draenei looked like that until this exact trailer. Elf. You've killed many of those things.
The little dragon worm thing?
Yeah. Nanoworm.
Oh, yeah.
Troll representation, finally. Fuck off. Yes, he does still have the skull go down.
You are not prepared!
Yeah, he's still mad, it turns out.
Well, I mean,
also,
he had a lot that happened to him. I don't blame him for being mad at all.
Also, it turns out we were pretty well prepared.
Black Temple.
Do not rejoice. Your victory is a hollow one.
They released these trailers for the classic servers.
Death
They weren't in the
really isn't so bad.
But they are Blizzard official, which is really cool.
Your greed, your foolishness has brought you to this end. Who knows what secrets hide in the dark?
I like the Blizzard official. Not really, I don't know.
How can you hope to stand against such overwhelming power?
Lord Illidan, I am sorry.
Run for the real power in Outland.
Invasive lightning no longer functional. Systems shutting down.
Don't look so smug. It has all led to this.
These are fan-made, they're fucking cool.
It's a what?
If these are fan-made, they're fucking cool.
Right?
I'd watch this movie.
You will die in the name of Lady Vosh. I have something for you. What are you afraid of?
I like his voice.
Damn it! No one goes home until our job here is done.
Shut up! Infidels have invaded the sanctuary. You have faced many challenges. Pity they were all in vain.
Pain and suffering are all that await you. Enjoying
You gotta
yourself.
slow this.
You seem a little tense.
Is this it, mortals? Is this all the fury you can muster? You are not prepared.
We were, in fact, prepared.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Misery, depravity. These are the hallmarks. These are the pillars.
The expendable have perished. So be it. Let the unraveling of this world commence.
I look like, ah, fuck.
Okay. Let's get some music going. Kil'jaeden sends High Lord Cruel to build the Burning Legion's forces on Outland to combat Illidan's Stormrage's growing army. Illidan still opposes the Burning Legion, and he has taken control of his own forces of demons to oppose the Burning Legion. The Naru, Adal, Muru, and Oros take the dimensional fortress Tempest Keep to Outland to aid Velen and Khadgar in their fight against the Legion's amassing forces.
Hey, Dragon.
Adal transported itself to Shatrath City and called various forces, including the surviving Draenei and the Sons of Lothar, to Shatrath to unite against the Legion. An army of Blood Elves led by Vorenthal marches on Shatrath at the orders of Illidan, but upon receiving visions from the Naru, Vorenthal and his army surrender and join the Naru forces, naming themselves the Scryers. That's their tabard on this guy's back. quite a nice tavern. The Blood Elves, led by Kael'thas Sunstrider, besiege and take control of Tempest Keep, that being the dimensional ship that the Naru arrived on, learning how to use its machinery to help feed their magical addiction. The Naru Oros seals off one of the wings, the Exodar, from the Blood Elves, locking itself within. The Naru Muru is captured by Kael'thas and sent back to Kel'Thalas, where its energies are bent to the will of Lady Liadrin. They are draining it of its light.
No.
Yeah, that was maybe one of the worst things it could have possibly done. The Blood Knights under Lady Liadrin are reformed by Romath. Romath you will know from my frequent bitching about him being kind of a prick. Kael'thas enters negotiations with the Horde, eventually joins forces. The Ethereals arrive on Outland, drawn by Kael'thas' manipulations of energies from the Netherstorm. And they do weird shit like making biodomes and sucking twisting nether energy into mana cubes. They're weird. Short story of what they are, basically their planet got corrupted by a void god. Blown up. They lost their bodies and became spiritual energy things, and they are wrapped in bandages so that we can see them, but we do see them without them, and they are just sort of ghosty pink energy. And they do weird shit like this. They're also the ones responsible for us having transmogrification of our armor.
Which you take much advantage of.
I do. The destruction of Nathreza. Akama allies himself with Maev's Shadow Song against Illidan, and Illidan lures them into a trap, killing Maev's forces, using their souls to power a portal to Nathreza, which is the homeworld of the Nathrazim. Okay, why do the not demons from the Shadowlands have a home planet in Twisting Nether? We don't know. Jesus Christ, why do they keep changing the lore? Illidan destabilizes the portal, causing it to collapse, just as the dimensional gateways that destroyed Outland did. This destroys Nathreza, allegedly. We don't know, we've never been there. Along with all the demons that are on it, probably just went back to Argus. Velen leads a raid to liberate the Exodar and escapes Outland. Blood Elf saboteurs caused it to crash on Azeroth, smashing into the Azure missiles off the coast of Darkshore, splintering it into pieces. So, the ship still kind of works, but it's embedded, like, into an island now, in pieces. The Blood Elves, at the invitation of Sylvanas Windrunner, joined the Horde. Who the fuck asked her?
People don't normally ask her much of anything, she just does stuff.
Well, she literally just joined the Horde, and she's already like, actually, while we're at it, can we invite my people? You know, the living ones. The ones that were bad a minute ago. Whatever. Dark Portal opens under the command of Lord Kazak and High Lord Kruul. The forces are pushed back through the Dark Portal and defeated by the Argent Dawn and the Alliance and Horde forces. And we mount our invasion of the Outland. We take out Illidan's armies, and the Illidari, and the Fel Horde, and, as well as the Burning Legion forces that are there, and we build Brawlhar, temporary encampment, with our old friend, Nazgul. Yeah, it's easier. That's where he's pretty much going to stay for the rest of history, but good that he has a place.
Yeah.
The Alliance, they regroup at Honorhold, which is former Sons of Lothar base from the First War. They find Danath Trollbane has been living here this whole time. He is the last living son of the Arathi bloodline, so he's the heir of Erator. He's just kind of chilling out here. Also, Erator the Redeemer, a half-elf son of Illyria Windrunner and Terrellia. He hasn't seen them in a while. Also, his armor is really cool.
Yeah.
Our first obstacle is Hellfire Citadel. It's a blockade set up by the fell orcs that are here. Fell orcs have been drinking the blood of Megatherodon and have turned red, as Gromosh did that time he drank from
Manaroth.
Not Manaroth, thank you. We go to the Shattered Halls, where the Shattered Hand clan have taken up residence. We fight against Kargarth Bleedfist. He's undergone the Fell Orc treatment himself. There's also some
doesn't
demons
have any
in there.
hands.
That one, yeah, that is correct. Then we go into Blood Furnace, where Burning Legion Morag are experimenting on demon blood and doing weird shit with that, and trying to make new types of demons. That guy's got his titty out. It's good for him.
You do.
And finally, Megatherodon's lair, where we find the Pit Lord is in prison and being drained of his blood to create more Fell Orcs. We do the kindness of sending him back to Argus to respawn.
Well, he's just gonna be pissed off and then come back and do bad things.
Correct. Thrall travels to Nagrand and Garadar, where he meets his grandmother, Gaia, where he learns his birth name was Goel. He goes on like a little bit of a spiritual journey about that. Also, he meets Garrosh Hellscream, son of Grom. This is a problem that will persist for many expansions forward, because this guy's a dick.
He also never drank any Kool-Aid, because he's brown.
He did not drink any of the Kool-Aid. Very good observation. I believe what happened was that he was a child, basically, during the First War, but he also had the red pox. But he got better. Yeah. Akadun, former Draenei burial ground, you know, the one that they built around a dying Naru, because that's fine, has been overrun by several factions, and heroes are sent in to clear them out, and whatever threat they may pose. Also, at some point, it blew the fuck up. We'll come back to that in just a sec. First, the Mana Tombs. Ethereal Nexus Prince Shafar has invaded the tombs and is draining the spirits, using them for their mana. That's him in the background there, and what appears to be a portal. Akunai Crypts. This is where the dying Naru Daore was. There's fuck all here except for some Draenei who've gone mad. Also ghosts, I guess. And Daore. Sethek Halls. So those shadow-worshipping bird guys from earlier are in here worshipping one of the Raven gods, which still hasn't dropped its mount for me.
How many mounts have you been trying to get?
So many!
Oh, but you have 1,000 of them.
I do. And then there's this guy. Shadow Labyrinth. This is a bit of an enigma. So Murmur, which is this guy here that you see, kind of looks a little bit like Ragnaros. That's because he is also an elemental. He is a noise elemental, who has become fully tangible inside of the crypt. When he did so, it blew up. You see all that damage and destruction around it. That is his doing. When he spoke one syllable.
Oh, so he can't talk to anybody.
Yeah. This guy is honestly powerful enough to destroy an entire planet, and he's just kind of down here chilling like a villain. So we kill him.
Oh, he was just chilling.
Like a villain.
Well, yeah, but he wasn't saying anything. It was fine.
Gruul. So this is the guy that almost killed Deathwing, and did kill most of the black dragons that were living on Outland. So we kill him. That was a hard fight. That was actually like a real gear check back in the day. Having regrouped with Khadgar and Shadrath, we decide to pay Karazhan a visit for reasons semi-related to the Dark Portal and the demons in general. Basically, he just wants to get, you know, some understanding of what the fuck's going on, since he's been away for 25-ish years.
You know, all this seems like it's so far away from Warcraft 3, but it was just, what, like 4 years?
Yeah. This place is absolutely insane. You won't actually appreciate it until you've done a full run-through, and I won't spoil that. It used to be one dungeon. It is still one dungeon. It's now 2, where you can go in reverse order. Kind of like Castlevania. go up one way and then you go down the other way. Yeah. We'll do both. These are very cool. Full of lore. So much lore. And mysteries. In the Zengar Marsh, in the Overland, the Naga have set up Coilfang Reservoir, draining water into the marsh. So if you haven't noticed, there's not a whole lot of moisture on the Overlands, and they are fish.
There's not. No, it was pretty dusty.
So they're sucking all the water into this area. Some people think they're sucking water out of it. They are not looking at which way that swirl is going.
Well, it's hard to tell if it's not moving, because you
Yeah.
can't tell if it's going up or down in this picture.
I'm
But I'm
just saying,
sure
there's
in
a lot of-
game it's moving.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that just don't understand it. They think they're sucking water out of it, they're not. Anyway, inside Coilfang Reservoir are 4 areas. First is the slave pens, where they've enslaved the local broken and sporelings. Underbog is the second section, full of mushroom monsters. Zengar Marsh is full of mushroom monsters. They are the remnants. Yes, they are the remnants of the spore mounds, if you recall, the original life on Draenor.
Mm-hmm.
So they're still around. Steam Vault is the third section, full of various components that make the reservoir do what it does. And finally, Serpent Shrine Cavern, where Lady Vaj is there, and we stab her, and she dies. For some reason, there was also a PvP zone in Netherstorm. Moving on. Okay, big shock. Another huge dungeon split up into multiple wings, and a raid, in Tempest Keep. Right off the bat, we've got Mechanar. This is the grindiest grind for rep. There's, you could wear tabards back in the day for each different faction, and if you went in here and you could clear it in about 5 minutes, you get a ton of rep. It's full of Moarg, who are doing machinery things to the Naru technology, presumably this was the Dimensional Ship's engineering bay, back in the day. Botanica is where they did botanicals, I guess.
Makes sense with the name. And
yeah.
and there's plants there right now.
So, lore-wise, there is mention of Blood Elf Druids. And there is a Blood Elf Druid in this dungeon, but there is not a Druid class that you can play as a Blood Elf. And you kill this one on repeat as well. Alcatraz, a space prison full of demons, and for some reason, Millhouse Manastorm. Also Old God minions. Millhouse
And some lady with
Manastorm.
too many arms.
Yes, Shivara, demon. And the Eye, where you face Kael'thas, who has become entirely corrupted by fell magic and loyal to the Burning Legion. Also a phoenix that still hasn't dropped from me. Caverns of Time has opened. As Dormu awakens and sinister forces begin to threaten the Time Ways, notice the Infinite Dragon Fleet. They're an evil and corrupted version of the Bronze Dragons, hell-bent on disrupting the flow of time for unknown reasons. Led by the evil version of Nosdormu named Murozond. They look like this.
Ooh.
Holy
They look
shit.
cool.
One of the first dungeons we do in Caverns of Time is the Escape from Durnhold Keep. This is where Thrall was being kept as a slave. And, I guess the Infinite Dragonflight are trying to stop him from ever breaking free. We make sure that he does. Next is the opening of the Dark Portal. That's right. Contents listed on tin. That's where Medivh opens the Dark Portal. And we have to make sure that he does.
Because we need Thrall.
Yep. Battle of Mount Hyjal. You'll never guess what that is.
The battle for Mount Hyjal.
Right. Finally, we assault the Black Temple. Its final assault against Illidan's forces begins at the foot of the Black Temple in Shadowmoon Valley. We make our way through and kill a bunch of demons and all sorts of weird shit, including some Naga and a weird face thing. And we face Illidan. Friend Illidan, along with the Shade of Akama and Maiev Shadowsong, who is still around. You defeat Illidan, and Maiev stores him inside of a crystal for safekeeping. We are led to believe, when we first did it, that he was dead, This has since been retconned. He was stored in a crystal prison, and we'll get back to him 8 expansions from now? 6, I guess?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So back in Zul'Aman, which is in the Kel Dalas area, so near where the Silver Moon City and the elves are. High elves, blood elves, I guess at this point. Zul'jin hears that the blood elves are out of town, so he starts some hijinks, trying to take over what remains of Kel Dalas. We get sent in to finally kill the old bastard. Also, he lost an arm at some point.
I was wondering where the arm was, because I wasn't sure if it was just a weird angle and it was behind him.
It's kind of strange. So, he was imprisoned for a while between the Second War and now, and he got his arm cut off in trying to escape. Why I say it's weird is that trolls historically have the ability to regrow limbs, and he just didn't. So, that's cool, I guess.
Maybe he thought he looked better without it.
Guess so. Anyway, back in Keldanos, Kil'jaeden is a sore loser and decides to go straight for the Sunwell himself to pull himself into Azeroth and make himself material. Which leads us to the Isle of Keldanos to defend it from demons in a series of painful dailies and weeklies that we had to do for a very long time, which unlocked different parts of the raid, so you could just do the whole raid at the same time. It's frustrating. You get like 3 bosses in and then it just hit a wall, like, wow, the door's locked, I guess we'll have to come back if you do 6 more weeks of weeklies. But we did have the Magister's Terrace, which is a dungeon in which Kael'thas is back from the dead. He's got a fel crystal sticking out of his chest.
Yep.
What? Yep.
I was gonna point that out.
That happens in Tempest Keep. You see him get that crystal stuck in his chest. Turns out that Tempest Keep was merely a setback for old Kael.
Oh.
And we kill him, and he still hasn't dropped his white chocobo mount for me. Something of a trend happening now.
You're due to get at least one of them within the next decade.
So we go to the Sunwell and we fight Kil'jaeden, who's halfway through the portal.
And angry.
Yeah, we turn Avina back into the Sunwell energy, which cooks him alive, and Calic's a little bit sad because he can't bone her anymore.
Oh, it's his girlfriend. I'd be sad too if I were him.
Dylan uses the remains of the very drained Muru, who turned briefly into a void monster, turns him back into the Sunwell, making it a source for light energy and arcane energy. The Blood Elves, Blood Knights specifically, forsake the use of light by force, so they're not going to drain any more Naru now that they know they're sentient. They're just going to use the Sunwell, which is here. Not really purified, but it's present at least.
Working enough.
Before. Yeah. Some of the eggs that Deathwing brought over to Outland were corrupted by the Twisting Nether, turning them into Nether Drakes. Weird semi-ethereal dragons. The blue dragon Tyrgosa, some of them are purple. They come in different colors. Yeah, there's like 6 different colors. The blue dragon Tyrgosa discovers the Nether Dragons and begins bringing them to the Nexus in Northrend, hopes of revitalizing them, studying them. Instead, the Nether Dragons, powered by the energies, attempt to usurp the power of the blue dragonflight. Malygos appears and absorbs their magical energies, makes them, that makes up the Nether Dragons.
Oh, that's Malygos?
That is not Malygos, no. This is a Nether Dragon.
Oh, okay.
This new energy reawakens the aspect and restores his sanity. So Malygos has his senses back, and he's like, oh, what the fuck? We were draining magic, we need to keep doing that. The Twilight's Hammer recruited Archbishop Benedictus to the cult of Twilight's Hammer. Cho'Gall travels to Northrend to weaken Yogg-Saron's bindings in Ulduar. So Bethune turned out to be not the winner. He's going to move on to Yogg-Saron. And we're back to this guy again. Anyway, long short story. Short. Logosh is precisely half of Varian Rin's soul. And Katrina Prestor is the Black Dragon daughter of Deathwing Onyxia. She cast some sort of fucked up spell on Varian that split his soul into two pieces. Weird, where have we seen that before? Also, wouldn't you say that that looks like gold and blue?
No, but it's like a red with some gold.
He's given a magic elven sword called Charlemagne, which comes apart and binds together, and when he combines it together, they become one person again, and Varian Rin is back! Hey, alright, yay.
And the people rejoice?
Yeah. Onyxia kidnaps Anduin Rin. Because Prestor was his babysitter, basically. Varian and his allies enter the lair and slay her. So, here's the thing about that. Onyxia was a raid that was available in Classic. They just sort of revisited it at this point. Canonically, this is where we kill her. In this. What? Well, shit. I don't know how to fix that.
I don't know.
Well, that's
I mean, we could watch it on YouTube.
Yeah. I fucked everything up. Hang on. Hang on. Add a browser source on the fly here.
Yeah. It's just not too hard, and you can crop the window to just the video window.
Yeah. Whatever. God damn it, needs my 8. Oh, fuck this.
Of course, it would have to mess up on one thing during the stream.
I'm looking into it.
Okay.
This one. Browser source. Wait. How do I hit play on it?
Space.
Failed with error 1002. You know what? We're gonna move on.
Okay.
That's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
It was a silly animation. You can go and look it up yourself. Fuck it. Fuck off. Music resumes. We do this to her. Much like her brother.
Oh my.
King Varian and Warchief Thrall met for a peace summit at Theramore. Rona Havorkin, under the control of Shogal, attempts to assassinate King Rin. That's what she's good at. Her assassination attempt failed. Varian saw her, and as a Horde spy, the negotiations broke down. She really has nothing to do with the Horde at all. In fact, I don't think she's ever met Thrall. Jaina Proudmoore and Egwin, yeah, Egwin's still around, took Rona prisoner at Theramore and interrogated her, finding that she was enchanted. Jaina and Egwin and Rona then worked together to fight Shogal's influence. They cleansed her mind. She's no longer under his control. Malagos is awake and pissed. Cranks up the suck on the Nexus, pulling all the magic into it. And creates the Mage Hunters, which trap magic users and artifacts inside arcane prisons. You made it all the way to Wrath of Lich King.
You weren't expecting that.
Nope. I need a little drink.
I've been drinking my water.
My son, the day you were born, the very forests of Lordaeron whispered the name Arthas.
He got more pixels since the last time we saw him.
Sure did.
My child, I watched with pride as you grew into a weapon of righteousness. Remember, our line has always ruled with wisdom and strength. And I know you will show restraint when exercising your great power.
You said it was frozen a mile down and they were safe, but that wasn't a mile.
He just shattered it all the way to the front. He has a new pet.
This is a really cool pet.
Dragos. That's Malagos' wife. The one that got blasted by Deathwing earlier.
Truest victory, my son, is stirring the hearts of your people. I tell you this, for when my days have come to an end, you shall be king.
Spoilers, he doesn't get to be king. The king that he was meant to be.
Well, he's dead, so...
I mean, he is a king.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I'm good if you want to just keep going until we get to Kata, which is a big change in Warcraft lore anyway. It's actually a good stopping point. But Wrath of the Lich King is quite long. There's Spartan videos involved, so I'm just not going to turn the music back on. I'll just talk over it. Let's go.
Okay, 1 second.
1 second. I'm gonna keep talking over you, that's all I'm gonna do. I don't care what the fuck you're doing. The Second Scourge Invasion. The Lich King begins his campaign of conquest anew, sending the Scourge across Azeroth. We get plagues everywhere, we get zombies everywhere, we get the Necropoli come back. It's a whole fucking thing. Remastered trailer.
Gaze now upon the lands below us. They must all be shown the price of their defiance.
Hear that, lads? It's only the end of the world. Well now, let's get this show on the road.
I suppose a welcome is in order. So welcome, insects. Welcome to my world.
Oh my.
Zombie infestations. It is plagued grain this time. Appears in capital cities across Azeroth, and apparently we haven't learned our lesson because people are eating it and turning into ghouls again. Who fell for that a second time?
Well, yeah, the people that were alive that did it the first time weren't alive very long, so I don't know how far the word spread to not eat the infected grain.
We're just doing gluten-free from now on.
Oh.
Scarlet Crusade has moved to Northrend in the wake of their devastation of the Scarlet Monastery, and they formed the Scarlet Onslaught, led by one of the Dreadlords, whose name escapes me. Not Tichondrius, maybe it is Tichondrius. Doesn't matter.
One quick
Lich King,
question.
hello.
For when you said going late, you talking about like an hour late, hour and a half?
However long it takes us, it won't be an hour. Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's fine.
Lich King sends his Death Knights against the Scarlet Crusade of New Avalon, which is in the Eastern Plaguelands, just to the east of Lightsoak Chapel.
Another question.
Yeah.
Why is it New Avalon when you never mentioned an old Avalon before?
probably because it was destroyed by the Scourge and rebuilt.
So it was Avalon, and then it was rebuilt and became New Avalon.
Right.
Okay.
The Battle of Light's Hope Chapel, Lich King's newly raised Death Knights, the player Death Knights, I should say, in Eastern Plaguelands turn on their master after meeting with the Paladins and, getting some of their senses back. Tyrion Fordrig, who was a Paladin, one of the first Paladins, in fact, has come into possession of the Ashbringer from Darian Morgraine, who is a Death Knight now, and humiliates the Lich King in front of his forces, forcing him to retreat. The Argent Dawn becomes the Argent Crusade, and the former Death Knights of Arthas become the Ashen something. Ashen Verdict, what is it? The Ebon Blade.
That is a
Yes.
very ebony-colored blade on that banner.
Yep. They also...
It's a black crossborn.
Yes.
Ish.
They also take the Necropolis base Acheris, the Ebon Hold, which is allegedly somehow more powerful than Nextremis, despite being like an eighth of its size and never doing anything particularly impressive other than flying. So, sure. Northrend. The Horde and Alliance begin the trek to Northrend. So, I want to draw a little something here. Let me get my pen. So, one of the major issues with the Burning Crusade was that we all went through the portal and arrived at the same location at the same time, which crashed servers over and over and over and over again. So they decided, Alliance are going to go here, Horde are going to go over here, but also Alliance are going to go over here, somewhere over there, and Horde are going to go over here. So they split us up.
Okay.
So there's 2 starting zones, which means that there's no particular order that you play these areas in. I'm going to just pick one, and we'll go with that. Starting with Howling Fjord. So, Vengeance Keep here was one of Arthas's bases. We've claimed it for the Alliance. The other side being Velgard. No. Sorry. Correction. Velgard was one of Arthas's locations. Vengeance Keep is built by the Forsaken, led by High Executioner Enzlim. The Alliance are led by Vice Admiral Keller. On the other coast, you have Borean Tundra with Valiant's Keep, which is newly constructed by High Lord Bolvar Fulldragon. The Horde creates Warsong Hold, led by Garrosh Hellscream, in what is a new architectural design for the Horde made out of True Steel, I think, or possibly Adamantite, I don't recall. Yeah, Garrosh is here, and he's leading the Horde now. Because Thrall's still off learning about being Goel and spirits and things. The Alliance begins its assault with Utgard Keep, an ancient Vrykul castle in Howling Fjord. We are introduced to the concept of Vrykul, to the concept of Valkyr, and the concept of Sanlane, a form of vampiric blood elf, raised by Arthas. At the pinnacle of Utgard Keep, we fight and kill the ancient Vrykul king Ymron. I'm gonna put the music back on for him.
Yeah.
This is actually genuinely a crazy lore thing here. He is basically like the grandfather of the human race, and we just tank and spank him. Pretty trivially. And he swears at us the whole time. We do actually go to Ezreal Nerub. Fight through increasing numbers of Nerubians and eventually facing Anubarak himself, flipping the beetle onto its back. They push further into Ankahet, the Old Kingdom, where they face the forces of old god Yogg-Saron, mostly just this faceless one here that you see. The Drakari trolls have aligned themselves to the forces of the Lich King and begun sacrificing their Loa. The Argent Crusade... No, it's very bad. There's a really big snake here, too, that we never see again. It just sort of slithers in the background. It's weird. It got asked at BlizzCon, and they forgot that they actually added it as an art asset.
At least they admitted they forgot.
Yes. The Argent Crusade leads an assault on Draktheron Keep and kills the Drakari that are in there, I guess. Oh, here we go. Balnazar is revealed to have been controlling the Scarlet Onslaught. We kill him. He goes back darkness.
Yeah.
The Zorba once again detects a disturbance on Timeways, and we have this venture to the Culling of Strathholm to prevent the Infinite Dragonflight from stopping Arthas from killing everyone there.
That's underground.
Yes, let me repeat that. We prevent the Infinite Dragonflight from preventing the Culling of Strathholm. Fixed points in time, even if they are bad. The ancient Titan facility of Wintergrasp comes to life. The Horde and the Alliance fighting there as a PvP zone for resources. A small dungeon full of Titan keepers. Kinda neat. Open world, weapons, vehicles. Ultimately a failure because it lagged like shit, but still, pretty fun. Like that they tried something new. Vehicle combat was neat. There's also the ancient Titan facility on the island off the coast of Northway called the Strand of the Ancients. You just collect Titan relics and things. Nexramus, again, because people didn't fight it the first time. They slightly nerfed it. It's still pretty hard.
Did you beat it the second time?
Of course. Kel'Thuzad is good properly dead this time. We destroyed his phylactery. Ormus Accord and the Kirin Tor, and also allies, begin a full-scale assault on the Blue Dragonflight and Malygos in Coldera to stop him from draining all the mana, because we very much need mana in order to fight and do things that magic does.
Runes.
We regroup in Dalaran, which is now floating over the Crystal Song Forest. They teleported it there, and it now just hovers over. They had a lot of plans for the Crystal Song Forest, but they also put Dalaran there, which caused a massive amount of lag, so they just abandoned all their plans to do anything with Crystal Song. Yeah. One of the worst things that they could have cut. This is such a ton of old elven lore that would have been really neat. Oh well. The Kirin Tor politely asked us to help with securing the Violet Hold prison after struggling with Kael'thas's escape. So, that prison that Kael'thas was locked in very briefly, that's Bash locomotive. They've been having trouble with that prison for a while, and they're still having trouble with it.
Not very secure.
No. We finally joined the assault on the Nexus, first assaulting the Nexus itself and defeating the rune-enslaved Red Dragon, Strazo. Next, we make our way up to the Oculus, a scrying center in the Nexus, fighting the Blue Dragons that are there, spying on everyone. Finally, we attack and kill Malygos in the Eye of Eternity, who has dropped one of his 2 mounts for me. But not the one I want.
At least you got one of them.
I got one
That's
of
better than all the others. You have 50% from him, you have 0 from the others.
That's right. The Obsidian Sanctum beneath the Wyrmrest Temple houses Sartharion, who has activated Deathwing's experiments, the Twilight Dragons. This raid was fucking hard. And it had a hard mode where you would keep the 3 drakes that you see alive, and they would attack you while you fight the main boss.
So you had to keep them alive to keep getting attacked.
Yes. While she's launching waves of lava that you have to dance around, and people lag because we had, like, 1 megabit internet back then.
That's terrible.
Yeah. So, there's the Battle of Angrathar the Wrathgate. And, rather than explain it myself, I'll just show it to you.
Okay.
It's WoW's first in-game cutscene.
This one works.
This is a remastered version of it, but it looked basically the same. So they added some fixes.
Take the lead! For Lordaeron!
That is Bolvar.
For the Alliance!
For Jordan.
Back, you mindless wretches! Fight on, brothers!
Rise up, sons of the Horde! Blood and glory await us!
That is Adrenoth Towerbang, Varrock's son.
Targon! For the Horde!
I was wondering if you'd show up.
I couldn't let the Alliance have all the fun today.
Arthas! The blood of your father, of your people, demands justice! Come forth, coward, and answer for your crimes!
You speak of justice, of cowardice. I will show you the justice of the grave and the true meaning of fear. Enough talk! Let it be finished!
Oh, shattered his weapon.
Absolutely owned. Blue.
You will pay for all the lives you've stolen, traitor!
Boldly stated, but there is nothing you can...
What? Did you think we had forgotten? Did you think we had forgiven? Behold now the terrible vengeance of the Forsaken! Sylvanas. Death to the Scourge! And death to the living!
I remember seeing this before that you showed me.
This isn't over.
Now, all can see. This is the hour of the Forsaken.
We're finished. No escape for any of us.
You didn't have a good enough voice. You had a better voice, you would have been alive.
Oh, he gets a better voice later.
But he's dead.
Is he?
Maybe. Undead.
Is he?
Maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. See, it just goes to show, if you get a better voice, you get to survive. Or be not dead.
What they don't show there is that where that fire rained down, flowers and grass grows. That's the life binder. It's WoW's first in-game cutscene ever. We assault Angrathar the Wrathgate and ultimately fail. Both Bolvar 4 Dragon and Dranosh Sourfang, Varrock's son, fall in battle and were captured by the Lich King. Notice I didn't say died.
No, you said fallen.
Varamathras is discovered to have betrayed the Forsaken, leading to the Battle of Undercity. He provided them with that plague that they unleashed. And Sylvanas pretends it wasn't her plan all along. But it was. She's like, oh, I guess some people from my team have done some bad things. Yeah, let's go stop them. Whoops.
And then she stops at Starbucks before she goes to stop them?
Yeah. Ultimately, we battle and kill Varamathras, who... say it.
Goes back to Argus.
Goes back to Argus. Clearly, our forces are unprepared to deal with the Lich King. So the Argent Crusade decides to build a tournament grounds in order to train some new recruits. That's under construction now. And this happens.
I am the lucid dream. The monster in your nightmares.
The thing of 1,000
Also, quick side note,
Mm.
you could use your Prime again, I think, right now.
Cool.
It just changed.
If it lets me. Does say resubscribe. Let's find out. Real time. Prime sub will be available on March 20th. Dot.
Well, it is March 20th, and I only have one now.
Guess we'll look later.
Yep, we'll look later. It's no big deal.
So Ulduar is a massive Titan complex in Northrend, built over the prison of Yogg-Saron. We are going to go there for certain. It is chock full of lore. So
How
much fucking
soon?
lore. Soon. Probably one of the we'll level up your evoker, and then we'll probably go here as one of the first things we do. The lore tour of this would be fantastic.
So level up first and then lore tour?
Yep.
Okay.
Bran Bronzebeard discovers Ulduar's corruption. I need to go into some notes here that I didn't create. So, you remember that Loken was corrupted by Yogg-Saron many eons ago? You recall that?
Mm-hmm.
He killed all the other Titan Keepers or took over their minds. Then,
Yeah, he was their
Odin...
watcher, and then he went crazy.
Yeah, and Odin yeeted himself into the sky and then got trapped inside of his fortress.
Mhm.
Well, Odin's fortress was part of this facility at one point. So, we finally come here to address Loken's corruption. First half, we deal with the Halls of Stone. We get some curious answers to questions we did not ask, which I recorded. Oh, that's super quiet.
System online. Life form pattern recognized.
You can barely hear that, can't you?
I can hear it all right.
Query? What do you think I'm here for? Tea and biscuits? Spill the beans already.
Tell me how the dwarves came to be.
And start at the beginning.
Accessing prehistoric data. Retrieved. In the beginning, earthen were created...
Right. I know the earthen were made from stone to shape the deep regions of the world. But what about the anomalies? Matrix non-stabilizing and whatnot.
Accessing. In the early stages of its development cycle, Azeroth suffered infection by parasitic, necrophotic symbiotes.
Parasitic, necrophotic symbiotes.
Yeah, I heard that.
Necrophotic. Deathlight.
Yeah. Like what was in the grain.
Necro, what in the... Speak bloody common, will ya?
Designation. Old Gods.
What?
Oh god.
So deathlight. As in not shadow, not void. Curious.
Old Gods rendered all systems, including earthen, defenseless in order to facilitate assimilation. This matrix destabilization has been termed the Curse of Flesh.
The Curse of Flesh.
Yep.
From the
That's
old
why he's squishy and not all hard.
Effects of destabilization increased over time.
Old gods, huh? So they zap the earthen with this curse of flesh, and then what?
Accessing. Creators
You can see
arrived
the discs
to
being loaded.
extirpate symbiotic infection. Assessment revealed that Old God infestation had grown malignant. Excising parasites would result in loss of host.
But we've just killed one. We're about to kill the second. Of 4. 3 of them will be dead.
If they killed the old god, worlds, Azeroth would have been destroyed.
Lies.
Correct. Creators neutralized parasitic threat and contained it within the host. Forge of Wills and other systems were instituted to create new Earthen. Safeguards were implemented, and protectors were appointed.
What protectors?
Designations Aesir and Vanir, or, in common nomenclature, Storm and Earth Giants. Sentinel Loken designated Supreme. Dragon aspects appointed to monitor evolution of Azeroth.
Aesir and Vanir. Okay, so the Forge of Will started making new Earthen. But what happened to the old ones?
Additional background is relevant to your query. Following global combat between Aesir and
Hold
Vanir...
The Aesir and the Vanir went to war? Why?
Unknown. Data suggests that impetus for global combat originated with Prime Designate Loken, who neutralized all remaining Aesir and Vanir, effecting termination of conflict. Prime Designate Loken then initiated stasis of several seed races.
Stasis of several seed races. So they're seeding planets with life and then putting them into stasis. I'm sure that will never come up again.
Including
Oh, no, never.
Giants and Vrykul at designated holding facilities.
This Loken sounds like a nasty character. Glad we don't have to worry about the likes of him anymore. So if I'm understanding you right, the original Earthen eventually woke up from this stasis, and by that time, the whatever had turned them into proper dwarves. Or at least, dwarf ancestors.
Essentially, that is correct.
Well, no, that's a lot to
Essentially.
digest. I'm gonna need some time to take this in. Thank you.
Acknowledged, Brand Bronson. Session terminated.
Yeah. So, lot to take in there. Just gonna move on. We also bust into the Halls of Lightning and fight Loken and kill him. So he's dead. Fuck him.
Sure, we'll never have to worry about him again.
No, he is actually dead. Fuck him.
No, that's what your dwarf said up there, and then he busted in and killed him.
Yeah. Finally, we make our way into Ulduar. It's a whole siege force that comes with us, because it's a big fucking facility, and it's full of Titan watchers and keepers and all sorts of things. I'll keep this as brief as possible, because we are going to run this dungeon. It will take 3 hours to run, easily.
Oh.
It doesn't take that long to actually fight the bosses, but I want to point out stuff as we go. So, we make our ways deep into the facility and encounter the remaining Titan Keepers. You see them here, Memoron, Hodir, Thorum, and Freya. Battling them to restore their sanity, we smack some sense into them. They aid us into our descent into the prison of Yogg-Saron. You can see that the prison has been broken. That shattered glass in the background that's just hovering there. We face the beast itself. It had been impersonating Sif and also some other lady. He does that. We stab him in the brain. It dies. Yogg-Saron is dead.
Dies.
Your guess is as good as mine. They
Dead
tell
for
us
now.
it's dead.
Dead for now.
The other old gods say it's dead. I'm willing to believe them. Also, after defeating Yogg-Saron, we encountered Bran again. Interacting with the console of another Archivum, manages to unlock a doorway to the Celestial Planetarium, where we encounter the being known as Elgalon. He is a Celestial, which is sort of another race of beings that the Titans use to monitor planets. sort of... It's interesting because when we see the Titans, when they manifest as material beings, they take this form before they take a guise that is more familiar to us. So these are like somehow tangentially related to the Titans in a way that we're not clear on, but they can die. So weird. Anyway, convinced by Loken, who is Odin's in Odin's absence has assumed the mantle of the Prime Designate, to issue the command for re-origination of Azeroth. Re-origination would result in the planet basically being wiped of all life and reordered.
It's a reboot.
Yeah. That would kill us. That'd be bad.
Mm-hmm.
So we come to blows with Algalon. We beat him. We convince him that we are mighty enough to potentially stand a chance against the old gods. He provides us with the reply code to terminate the apocalyptic reorigination, which we send from Dalaran, beam it somewhere into space. The one thing we're not going to do is talk about Madan. Good?
Okay.
This guy doesn't exist. Moving on.
Okay.
Off the coast of Northrend, Horde and Alliance forces are locked in an epic struggle for a tiny island rich in resources, known as the Isle of Conquest. This rocky battleground's proximity to Icecrown makes it a highly prized base in the war against the Lich King. It's an absolutely massive PvP zone.
So we're not going there.
No. The Argent tournament grounds are completed and the tournaments are held right on the Lich King's doorstep. Various semi-PvP jousting matches, rep grinds. No one ever completed the rep grinds. There's 2 dungeons. Also, Anubarak is back. He's undead now. He wasn't before. And I have to turn the music off again. Because...
Grand Warlock Wilfred Fizzlebang will summon forth your next challenge. Stand by for his entry.
Thank you, High Lord. Now, challengers, I will begin the ritual of summoning. When I am done, a fearsome Doom Guard will appear. Prepare for oblivion! Aha! I have done it! Behold the absolute power of Wilfred Fizzlebang, Master Summoner! You are bound to me, demon.
Trifling gnome! Your arrogance will be your undoing!
But I'm in charge!
You face Daraxus! You face Daraxus! Eladon, Lord of the Burning Legion! You face Daraxus! You face Daraxus! Eladon, Lord of the Burning Daraxus! Daraxus! You face Daraxus! Eladon, Lord of the Trifling gnome! You face Daraxus! You face Daraxus! Ha 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 ha!
So, we face Daraxus, Eredar Lord of the Burning Legion.
I gathered.
We kill him, he goes back to Argus. I don't think we've seen him again. Hope we do. Yeah. The Argent Crusade and the Ebon Blade combine forces into the Ashen Verdict to begin their assault against the Icecrown Citadel. They arm us with some nice weapons and a ring. And we breach the walls of Icecrown Citadel, start going through its different wings, trying to figure out our way around. First, we go to the Forge of Souls, which is some sort of an auger which is trying to mine into Azeroth itself and suck its soul out. This actually comes up again later. We'll deal with that when we get there. Next to the Pit of Saron, where they are mining out hardened blood of Yogg-Saron, Saronite, to reinforce their fortress and build new unstoppable necropoli. So they're actually building their fortresses out of Yogg-Saron's blood, despite not being aligned with the old god himself. Or are they? I don't know. Yeah. And then the Halls of Reflection, where we find the ghosts of Uther Lightbringer. That would be his gold soul that he did not get absorbed. We also find that Frostmourne is resting here. By the time we try and grab it, Arthas shows up and chases us for a while. Then we get away. Yes.
How simple it was to draw the great Tyrian Fordring out of hiding. Very well. Your first test awaits you. This is the beginning and the end.
Bone Storm! We will, of course, do this raid in-game.
What was that? I couldn't hear you.
We will do this raid in-game.
Okay.
I need the horse.
Things are about to get much worse. Good news, everyone.
Bad news, everyone.
Where is your light now, Crusaders? Soon, you will belong to the Scourge. This is the end.
Arthur, I'm going to finish what I started at Light's Hope.
The light won't protect you here, Paladin.
See that guy hanging up in the background? Toby?
No, I said I don't see anybody. I just see the Lich King right now.
Over his head, there's a guy that's chained up.
Oh, I didn't realize it was a guy chained up. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's Bolvar.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll get back to it.
There is no light, only darkness.
That's a weird statement. Because that sounds like a voidy thing. And he's not...
And he used purple.
Yeah.
Face now your tragedy.
Relentless winter.
Before your king.
Well, it's called Fall of the Lich King, so Arthas, I think you're gonna fall.
You think so?
Well, it says Fall of the Lich King.
Well...
So maybe.
Yeah, he's dead.
Father, is it over?
So, important thing to point out, because this will come up again later. You notice his eyes turn back to green. They were blue.
Mhm.
Blue is the eye color of somebody who's being dominated. You'll notice that when he comes out of the domination, he's a little bit confused about what the fuck is going on. Just keep that in mind when we go forward.
At long last. No king rules forever, my son.
I see. Only darkness before me.
Long live the king.
The king is dead. Long live the king.
Without its master's command, the restless scourge will become an even greater threat to this world. Control must be maintained. There must always be a Lich King.
The weight of such a burden. It must be mine, for there is no other. Tyrion! You hold a grim destiny in your hands, brother. But it is not your own. Bulva!
He made it out of the chains.
The dragon's flame. Seal my fate. The world of the living can no longer comfort me. Place the crown upon my head, Tyrion. Forevermore, I will be the jailer of the damned.
No, old friend. I cannot.
Do it, Tyrion! You and these brave heroes have your own destinies to fulfill. This last act of service is mine. I must be forgotten, Tyrion. If the world is to live free from the tyranny of fear, they must never know what was done here today. That the Lich King is dead.
He's resisting.
And Bolvar Full Dragon died with him. Now go. Leave this place and never return.
It's the one that was kind of not really, but almost dead outside when the dragon came and burned it off.
That's right. So, final death
A better voice.
Arthas Menethil, believing the Scourge to be too great a threat, without someone to control them, burned husk of Bolvar Full Dragon, dons the Lich King's crown, and becomes dormant in the Frozen Throne for a while. Yes, you are correct in pointing out that those eyes were not blue, and he is not being dominated. You will note that he's also on fire. Who else do we know that's on fire and is able to resist domination magic? Sargeras. We'll come back to that later.
Okay.
Father, is it over? Well, yes, but actually no. So, Sylvanas, while irritated that she was not there to actually see Arthas die, is satisfied to know that he has met his end. She ascends Icecrown Citadel alone and, looks at his corpse, which is, I guess, left there. I'm not really sure what they do with his body. I think he might be buried somewhere.
It's cold there, so he'll be preserved.
I think that they buried him near Stormwind, oddly enough. She hurls herself off of the top of Icecrown Citadel and falls and falls and falls, and impales herself on a Serenite spike, which I'm sure is really healthy.
Oh yeah, I hear it's good for the back.
A whole book about this. TLDR, she has, as her vision fades, she sees 9 Valkyrs circling her, granting her visions of her past, and during her brief stint of death, she meets the jailer. That elephant in the room. He convinces her to join his side in bringing about a change to things that will deal with the Shadowlands content. Anyway, he gives her 9 Valkyr, a way to create new Forsaken, since they don't have a Lich King anymore that they can depend on to raise the undead. So now she can do it herself. And sends her soul back to her undead body. And we'll come back to that.
She'll have to figure out a way to get herself off of the spike.
She sort of like hauls herself up.
Mm.
Yeah. They give her some midriff armor to cover it. That's their excuse anyway. The real story is that they got too many complaints about her being scantily clad.
Mm.
Yeah. Enraged at the destruction of the Obsidian Sanctum, the Black Dragons launch an attack on the Ruby Sanctum. The assault is led by the Twilight Dragon Halion, one of the Lady Sinestra's creations. Lady Sinestra was one of Deathwing's consorts, and one that went to Outland. She's back. Actually, just saw her today in game, so I went to Outland. Xavius, you remember him as the leader of the Satyrs, stirs up trouble in the Emerald Dream, again, now corrupted into the Emerald Nightmare, sending people into a deep sleep, into comas, and unleashing nightmare dragons on Azeroth again. So they're back. Malfurion has woken up again, leads the charge to end the torment. His nap didn't last very long.
He's probably cranky.
Operation Nomergon. So I said that they didn't actually retake it. Well, they did. They tried. It's still fucked. But I guess that was fun. Salazine's Fall. So Vol'jin and the Darksphere Trolls have been living in Orgrimmar since pretty much they built Orgrimmar. He leads a force to retake the Echo Isle. Oh, by the way, his dad died. Senjin, the crazy troll that you saw in the cutscene. I forgot to point out, at some point he died. Vol'jin is the new leader of the Darksphere. So they retake the Echo Isle from the clutches of the evil Zal'Zane. Those islands are like swimming distance from Durotar. That's weird. They had to take boats to get to anyway. Scale of the world's all fucked up. Former Paladin Revel Cost goes searching with some friends for the site of ELUNE to deal with the growing Worgen problem in the Silverpine Forest. All of this leads to
Cataclysm.
I think you'll find it's pronounced cataclysm.
Cataclysm. Yeah, I can see that. Cataclysm.
We should probably end here for the night. We can
Yeah.
pick up this next week. It'll be just the
On
one
Tuesday?
WoW video on Tuesday, and then we'll be back to Control on Wednesday.
Yes.
We made good headway. We are
We
on
did.
expansion 3.
What slide number?
Slide number 535. We're about
We're
halfway.
halfway through.
We are halfway through. Yes. I'm very tired.
Hopefully we'll see everybody next week.
Hopefully so. The VOD will be
Bye.
up on YouTube